Hello, you're listening to Reviewing History, your comedy history podcast. I'm filmmaker and teacher Brian Ruppert, joined here by,
as always, Steve Badagliacco.
And
Ho, ho, ho.
You have a machine gun.
Yes.
Sant G.
Hey, I like it. Hi, guys.
Hey.
Welcome to the show.
It's our official Christmas episode.
It's official?
Well, you know, the other one's behind the paywall, which, if you want to check that out.
Wouldn't that make it more official?
I mean, this one's the free. Everyone can get this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
This drops.
This comes out this Wednesday.
I meant like in relation to Christmas.
Right before the big
like
day.
right before
Yeah,
Christmas.
this is the episode
yes.
right before.
So
Santa
this
Claus is coming to
technically
town.
The free Christmas one.
This is coming out December 20th.
If you couldn't tell.
Oh, I wear this all the time.
Not you. More so the.
You are a festive guy.
I am
Yeah.
festive.
You like a nice holiday.
like
I love
holidays.
the season.
Yes.
Especially Christmas. That's like your favorite. You would say that's your favorite?
No, Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday.
How was the brain miss?
Yeah, that's true.
Sorry, I couldn't be there.
Yeah, brain
Yeah.
miss, kind of a disappointing event.
It was a sad brain miss this year.
It was a sad brain miss. It might be the last.
The final brain miss.
It might be. We'll see. Maybe I'll give it one more go.
Don't blame the failure of this brain miss on yourself. This was completely his failure.
You think I ruined brain miss?
Yeah, a little.
What is brain miss for the
Brain miss is a
audience?
Christmas party that I've thrown the past couple of years.
I thought it was a big hit
It always
It was
yeah.
until
until I ruined
a
it.
cornerstone of the event didn't show up and took with him,
the other cornerstone.
people. Yeah.
Both corners were gone.
So the life was sucked out of brain miss.
I'm sorry.
I had fun with the people that were there,
Yeah.
and I'm thankful they came.
It became a
It was a more intimate,
networking.
it was a more intimate hangout. You know,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
That's fine.
And we had fun. You know, we were telling stories, we were laughing.
Did you play your
Jokes.
games?
I didn't do the games.
Why not?
Honestly, I've been so busy, I didn't have time to write the
You
games.
didn't make games.
All my time and energy went into the Christmas pod for games.
Okay.
So if you want to see some Christmas games and festivities, go to bandcamp.com, reviewing history. It's $5. Half the money goes to St. Jude. This is the last time we're mentioning it, guys.
Thank God.
This is it. This is the last push.
The
So,
sweaters and shirts won't be up anymore after Christmas, but we're gonna keep the audio pod up.
the audio will be up, but the Christmas merch will go away December 26th.
Mhm.
So
So you got a limited time for the merch, and then you buy the pod. You get how many hours is it? Like 4 hours?
it's 5 hours.
5 hours of entertainment for $5.
And half the money's going to charity. You can help
Yeah,
St. Jude.
raise some money. I'm honestly I'm surprised how many people bought it. Like every time I keep looking, I'm
Yes.
like I can't believe people are
Have
still
we thanked
going.
the listeners on mic yet?
I think we did, but I just want to say thank you again because it's amazing.
It was very shocking. You
Yeah.
guys really came out and supported us in
Mhm.
spades, and we very much appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And it's very much in the Christmas spirit to
Yes.
help.
And if you haven't gotten in on this concept,
we hate you.
well, there's still time. There's still time.
Oh, like Scrooge.
Yes. They can
Oh.
be redeemed at the final hour.
Right.
There's still time to set things right, guys.
Right.
Here's my question about A Christmas Carol, since that's what we're going to be
Okay.
talking about today.
Yes, the
Kind
movie we're
of.
doing today is
Yes.
The Man Who Invented
Man,
Christmas.
It's kind of it is the Christmas Carol,
Yes.
but not
everybody
really.
knows this story. It's one of the most famous stories of all time.
Yes.
Sure.
The Christmas future, right? The scariest of all ghosts.
Grim
Yes.
Reaper.
Is it just 1 year later?
It's an undetermined amount of time.
It's not far.
It's not far.
It's not far.
Does
The
that
kid was
mean?
dying?
But okay, yes,
Yeah.
he saves Tiny Tim by getting involved and helping, to get him medical care. I suppose.
well, he gives
and giving him
his
better
worker more
nourishment.
money.
Right, Cratchit.
Yeah.
But Scrooge himself, is his death still written in stone?
No, I think because he has turned his life around, he's reinvigorated with like a
Yeah.
vigor for life.
He's spared
A
by
zest?
by-
A zest,
He's
yeah.
spared by the spirits,
And he
that are
becomes like
coming
an
to take
uncle
him.
to Tiny Tim.
Yeah, it was like a
Yeah.
second father to
To
him.
him. Yes.
Yeah.
Tiny Tim, who did not die.
Die.
I mean, they all still died. We're talking about the
Eventually,
1800s,
yeah.
so they're all dead. But
Oh no, Fezziwig's still going. He's still out there.
He's still
He's
dancing.
so
somewhere.
jolly he cannot be destroyed.
He can't be killed by conventional.
That's
so the movie we are doing, The Man Who Invented Christmas.
Yes.
What year is this?
The movie came out in 2017.
2017.
Now,
Have you guys seen it before?
No, I didn't know this existed.
I saw it once.
you did.
Yes.
Did you like it then?
Yeah, I did.
Did you like it now?
Yeah, I like it a little more now, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I was shocked how much I enjoyed it, but I think I also enjoyed it a lot because it was the Christmas Carol. But I did look a little bit into the story behind it, like the actual life of Dickens, and I was surprised how much they got right.
It's pretty
There's
accurate.
some good stuff in there. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I came to find I wasn't familiar with his life really.
I think not a lot of people are.
Well, why would you be if you're not around
Right.
in the 1840s?
Like you read his works, but you don't really know about the life of the man.
Right.
Well, I'm going to make some claims with him,
Okay.
with Dickens. Number one, I think Christmas Carol might be the greatest story in the English language.
It's certainly
It's
one of
up
the most
there.
influential.
Yes. I'll say that.
It's
And
up
I
there.
think in the English language, he may be the most
Prolific
important
writer.
Yeah.
Shakespeare, though.
Oh, well, you know what? He did plays, so I'm kind of viewing them a little differently.
But didn't
So
also
you're-
Shakespeare was in Old English, right? Where
Sure.
Dickens was in New English.
Well, I mean,
Correct.
it's the same language.
Yeah.
I'm more so talking about the writing styles where it's
Well,
easier for you to read Dickens.
when
than
you say
Shakespeare.
Old English, like there really is like a separate language, Old English, which is just English before like the incorporation of Germanic stuff and
Mhm.
Latin and French. Whereas was it Shakespeare is
Shakespeare.
it's not really a different language. It's just an older
Different
type of
slang
speaking.
and stuff. Yeah.
So I'll say it's easier to read Dickens. That's what I mean.
For a modern person, absolutely.
I
Yeah.
think that
It's
kind of
also
puts him
about
ahead.
It's about 200 years closer to the present
Yes.
Right.
than
Shakespeare.
Shakespeare would be. I mean, who else you got? You got Mark Twain, right?
Mhm.
Mark Twain,
You got,
Dickens,
what's his name?
John Grisham,
I kept thinking about
Tom Clancy.
the Giants.
Nicholas Sparks.
Roald Dahl.
Well, that's actually Tolkien. You know, I think you can put Tolkien in the same breath as these people.
Tolkien wrote 4 books. They're
yeah,
great.
but they're huge.
They're
big
they're
books.
brilliant. I kept like as I was watching this, I kept thinking about how like Dickens is really the embodiment of Victorian London, right? Like-
Yes,
like-
totally.
And then the American version of that would have to be
Mark Twain.
no. Well, yeah, but more for the
Philip
West.
K.
I was thinking New York, you know?
Okay.
And New York's guy is without a
Martin
doubt.
Scorsese.
Philip K. Dick.
Jesus Christ, he wrote Leaves of Grass. Why can't I think of
Leaves
his fucking name?
Grass. I don't know.
Walt
people.
Whitman.
Okay.
No, yeah, but he doesn't even hold a candle to anyone else.
Well, he's not nearly as big as Dickens, but he certainly has a literary impact, and I think he's like the American.
What were some of the
version
works?
that. Well, Leaves of Grass is the big one.
Walt Whitman, I don't know his work really,
he's
but
a
I know
poet
him.
more
Yeah,
than
he's a
anything
poet.
else.
I think when you're thinking of the writers, you got to put them in categories of what they are. Dickens is a novelist, so I think it's only fair to compare him to other novelists.
So Twain,
I also think that
Oliver Twist, and
I don't
Great
Tom
Expectations.
Sawyer. Tom Sawyer.
I don't
Yeah.
think I would
Yeah.
put Tolkien only because Tolkien was huge, but he gained way more popularity through the movies in later years than the books themselves. I think.
No.
You couldn't be more wrong.
At least from my I would say most. Let's say you didn't have the movies when we were growing up. Most people would know Dickens more than Lord of the Rings.
You read The Hobbit.
I read The Hobbit
I
before
think
the movie came
that
out.
was a little. It's you.
But you read it in school, wasn't
It's
it an
you.
assignment?
I did, but I'd already read it like as a kid. I read it when I was like
Okay.
8 years
Yeah.
old. Yeah.
See, I've never. I didn't know anyone who really read
Mhm.
any Lord of the
I
Rings.
also
before.
read Oliver Twist when I was very young.
I've never read Oliver Twist.
You
Yeah.
lived it.
I lived we had gruel every night.
I don't
for
think
dinner.
it was. I don't think it was like the real version. I think it was probably like a kid version of Oliver Twist,
Okay.
like edited down. But
I read
did
A Christmas
read it.
Carol at a really young
That
I
age.
think
never did.
everyone did. No.
No,
I read that in 4th or 5th grade, and then we went and saw a musical version of it in Radio City as a
that I've
school
seen.
trip.
I went to that.
Yeah, they
Yep.
don't do that anymore, right?
I don't know.
There was a song, Link by Link, and it was about Marley.
Look, the only musical that matters in this, line of thinking
Is the Opeth
is
version.
Is of course the Muppets.
Oh, obviously.
Well, that's a 10
Well,
out of
Charles
10.
Dickens was a whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, he was blue.
Yeah.
He had a giant nose, and
And his
he hung
best
out
friend
with
was
a
a
rat.
rat from Brooklyn.
Yes.
Right.
Do you know that's Rizzo's first appearance in a Muppet thing?
Is it?
No
Yeah.
way. Really?
Yeah, he's not in anything before.
Are
that.
you
steals the
sure?
show.
Are you sure he wasn't in Fraggle Rock?
It might not be. It might be a different rat, but
Don't you like the Muppets Take Manhattan? He's not in that?
But that, yeah, oh yeah, predominantly in that.
Well, that was before this. That was before the Muppet Christmas
He
Carol.
literally owned a pizzeria.
Yeah, so you're wrong, Brian.
are you sure?
I think Rizzo was around like since the beginning.
I maybe not the beginning, but he was definitely around. I don't know if he was
Alright,
on the original
I'm
Muppet show.
wrong. He's in those as cameos. His first real big starring role is Muppet Christmas Carol.
Mhm.
That's when he had an expanded role.
Oh, okay.
So-
Light the lamp,
Yeah,
not the
that
rat.
makes sense.
Yeah,
Well, the Muppet Christmas Carol is a perfect movie. So
it's amazing.
yeah, I'm not even like that's not even sarcasm. It's just,
It's the definitive version.
it is the
You
version.
really think it's?
Yes,
Yes,
I
it is
actually-
the best
I
version.
actually
Yes,
do.
it's the best
It's
version.
a joy every time I
Yes,
see it.
yes.
And I've seen it thousands of times.
The songs are great.
Amazing.
Everything. All the
'Tis a season to be jolly and joyous.
and, correct me if I'm wrong, but they do the perfect capture of that story of how it feels to see those ghosts. Like, maybe not so much the Marleys, but like the ghost of Christmas Past is like really creepy.
I will say that is the best Ghost of Christmas Present.
It's the,
Christmas Present is
it's
fantastic.
the
too.
best. All three of them.
Yeah, they're all
Oh,
great.
know me better, man.
And like, oh, I this movie was awesome, but it's no Muppet Christmas Carol.
Well, this is, you need this to get to Muppet's Christmas
But
Carol.
a little bit back towards that, I was very surprised when I saw the actor. I was like, you know what? This guy's way too fucking handsome to be Dickens. Let me look this
Damn,
up.
I was thinking.
Let me
the
look up a
same
young
thing.
Dickens. Young Dickens was a hot guy.
Was he?
Oh yeah, he's a stud.
They
Anytime I've ever seen him, he's like an older man.
No, dude.
And he's bald.
This
and
was-
fucked up looking.
perfect, perfect casting.
So he has a
I
rough
want
couple
you
of years
right
ahead.
now. Look up a young painting of Charles Dickens.
Do you know about?
I was like, holy crap, this guy was handsome.
I don't know what he looks like, but
But they nailed it.
speaking
Yeah, he
of,
is a good-looking
of
guy.
rough
He
couple
looks
of
like
years-
one of our
Ant,
friends.
Show Ant.
Are you familiar with the train incident with him? Who does he
Look at
look?
that.
He looks like our friend.
Yeah.
He's a handsome man.
Do
He
the
looks,
colored one so you can see that he has like beautiful eyes.
he looks like Franklin Pierce. You ever see Franklin Pierce? He's another stud of the 19th century.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a
Well,
19th
that just
century hottie.
looks. I'm not going to say what that looks like, but, you know. No, so if you watch this movie and you're like, that's not Dickens, no, man, that was Dickens. They nailed
Yeah,
it.
Dick is in you. You know about the train thing?
No, what's the train thing?
So in like 1865.
Hold on, hold on.
Good idea.
Continue. He's playing with
Right.
scissors.
I accidentally cut the wires, guys.
So in like 1865, so around that time, he's riding a train over a bridge,
Uh-huh.
and all of a sudden the bridge fails, and all of the first class cars go off the bridge into a river, except the one.
And he
he's
said, good, you Scrooges.
the one he was sitting in is just kind of dangling.
What?
Like Mission Impossible
Yeah,
7.
it's being
No way.
It's being held up by the cars behind it, right? So he jumps in and starts
Everybody
saving
get
people.
to the back of the bus.
So he was a superhero.
He starts saving people. He had like people die in his arms and shit.
That's
Holy
horrifying.
shit.
Yeah. And he left the latest manuscript he was writing in the car.
For
that was
whatever
hanging.
it was.
So he had to like climb back in and like save his work.
I hope
And
it
he
was a
did it.
good one. I
Yeah.
hope it wasn't like
It was
Barry
the fail-
Chuzzlewit.
Yeah,
It was the
it's like
fail
one,
one.
it's definitely like look it up. It's definitely like one of the ones that fucking nobody
Chuzzlewit.
cares about. Because the guy wrote like constant.
Barnaby Rouge.
Little
that-
Nettie.
That's a real one.
Oh, really? Barnaby
Yeah, Barnaby.
Rouge?
There's so I looked into it. So you want to jump in? Or do you want to do a little bit more background? Because I feel like it kind of gives us background.
Yeah, the
later.
background's in the movie.
Yeah.
So this starts 1842, and this is kind of right like his peak of popularity, where he's in America and he's being like celebrated, and it turns out he kind of just wants to go home.
He's doing an American tour
Yeah,
of like performing his novels. Like
Yeah.
he's doing live readings where he will act out the characters and shit. It was a thing that you
yeah,
That's
they still
interesting.
do it.
do they?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like usually you won't read the whole book, but like the writer will read like a
Mhm.
chapter or something, you know? There's actually a weird thing happening now. I kind of wanted to go to it. Neil Gaiman is
You said Gaiman.
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Neil Gaiman.
Yeah.
But
You
he
said it again.
now I can't say his name because
Just say Neil.
Yeah, Neil, the writer of such books like Sandman and
G-Man.
such. Yeah, he is playing Charles Dickens reading A Christmas Carol in New York.
Only Gonzo can do that.
So he's a dude playing a dude. Playing a dude.
It was 2.5 pages for Our Mutual Friend.
Yeah, so it's one of the nothing.
Yeah,
books.
it's post
Okay.
like his prime.
What year was that? Did you find?
1865, the book came
All
out.
right, I got
Very
it right.
obscure.
The accident was June 9th, 1865. The Staplehurst rail crash.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Well, that of course is after
Way
this movie
after,
will
yeah.
be over.
Right. This is 1842.
Yeah.
Also it kind of jumps like a year.
So that
Quickly.
tour that he's on in the movie at the beginning where he's like, America is a success, like it was a
Mhm.
great success.
Yeah.
That tour was actually a flop.
Really?
Yeah, nobody came out and it wasn't really kind of a big deal.
That's
He-
good
but
Really?
accuracy.
Yeah, it like the tour came and like it was like moderately successful at
Mhm.
best.
He also it wasn't just him performing the things. He also was doing like speeches about like social issues and stuff.
Yeah, and he was reading the books. He was
He-
always an advocate for the poor.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's obviously plays into the book heavily. But
The film.
well, no.
Both.
And the book.
Oh,
the book he's gonna write.
yeah.
But
Pretty much all his books though.
Yes.
it's a theme, it's the building block of his life.
Yeah.
You know, and
Well, he's living in this new industrial society which had never existed before. You know, the dark satanic mills
There's a
of
lot of squalor.
Victorian Britain. Oh yeah, and like the picture we get of Britain
It's
at this
perfect.
time is from him.
It's
Yes.
perfect.
You know,
too.
and it's this dirty,
Yeah.
you know, fucked up place. This is the society
And
that Marx will have all these criticisms.
and
about.
English
yeah.
society is so classist as it is.
to begin with.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. And this kind of delineates that.
Right.
But his second tour, which is For a Christmas Carol, is the one that's a huge success in America, and that's what makes him kind of the legend of Dickens.
Well, that's later. That's way
later, but I'm
yeah.
talking about just the tour because they
Mhm.
opened the movie with it.
Yeah.
So this
He ended up writing a book like Commentaries on Americans.
he did, yeah. Which I would love to read.
That's
that.
probably
It's
interesting.
probably good.
Yeah.
Right before the Civil War.
They have blacks here.
But speaking of those books, so in this they say 3 flops in a year.
Yeah, he had
Post
Three
Oliver
flops.
Twist.
3 flops after that. Now there's actually 4.
really.
And because I was like, oh, what flops are those? And as I'm looking, I'm like, wait a minute, there's an extra one in there. But maybe it wasn't as long, or maybe it didn't count. But on the page that I was reading, it did. There was Nicholas Nickleby in
I've heard of
1838,
that one.
Mhm.
right? The Old Curiosity Shop, 1840. Barnaby Rouge, 1841. And then Martin Chuzzlewit in 1843. That is, for the time period, you're producing a lot.
Why does he make all his characters have names like fucking they're in Harry Potter?
I think that was
I think
kind of-
Nicholas Nickleby.
I
I
think
think that's
that's
just
the-
a British thing. Right? They have weird names.
But I think that's the downfall of those books.
that they have stupid names.
Because they have, if you have a stupid name, I'm not going to pick up a book that says Martin Chuzzlewit and be like, oh, this is definitely going to be a serious work.
Why does David Copperfield work?
Don't know.
You know?
everybody loves
But David
magic.
Copperfield is a strong Copperfield is a strong last name. You know what I mean? Chuzzlewit sounds like you're chuzzling things.
Wasn't that the guy in Cuckoo's Nest who wanted his own cigarettes from Nurse Ratched?
Real quick, what do you guys read Great Expectations?
I've seen the South Park episode.
the South Park episode was
Okay,
all
but you
need.
didn't
No,
read
but
the
yes, I
book?
did.
No,
read
you read it?
I read it.
I read the book. Yeah,
I had to read it for school.
I read that and A Christmas Carol. I think those are the only books of his I read.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's it.
9 baby bunnies.
Yeah, we're the only 3 people on the planet that like it.
Oh.
I'll go to my death defending that episode.
Episode's
I'm a
awesome.
British person.
Oh, episode's great. So-
But yeah, so do you want to know the interesting thing about Martin Chuzzlewit?
Yes.
Sure.
So the book comes out. It's kind of like torn apart by everybody.
Mhm.
And in the book, there's a raven, right? And
Quoth. Does he quoth?
I think that's the name of the raven.
No. No, that's from Poe.
Oh.
Another one of these great writers of the 19th century.
So Edgar Allan Poe read
Would you call
Chuzzlewit
him
and wrote a review.
A poet, though, more than a writer.
Edgar Allan Poe's a poet, I think.
It's a poet.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, he is a
Yeah.
poet, but I'm saying I wouldn't consider him a writer. I'd say poet.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But anyway, he read Chuzzlewit and wrote a review for it for like the Baltimore whatever. And in the
Herald.
yeah, whatever it is. And in the review, he was like, Poe should have done more. Not Poe. He said Dickens should have done more with the Raven in the story and made it more symbolic of something. And then a year or two later, he writes the Raven.
Wow.
So Martin Chuzzlewit influences one of the most famous American poems ever.
Right.
And that's like one of his failed
And that's
works.
one of his flops. So
pretty cool.
yeah, that's a little tidbit I learned while doing research.
So Dickens was broke. Makes sense because when you hear that at first, you're like, "How this guy's like one of the most successful authors of his time. He's going on tours. How are you broke?" And then
He wasn't broke in the movie.
He was struggling in the movie. Yeah.
Well, he was just.
He has a lot of bills in
He's
debt.
constantly.
He has
He's
debts.
overly obsessed with money. But I think you have to be in that world.
He has a pretty decent sized family.
He has 9
They
kids.
end up having 10 children, the two of them.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
He has 9 and 1 on the way.
Yeah. So that hurts.
He has a full baseball team.
He has his parents are
He
in
sired
a
a
house.
team.
You know, his parents are away. He's paying for them, which you don't know in the movie at the time. But you know, so he's struggling.
Yes.
You know, he has debts.
Well, he's paying an Italian man to make a chandelier.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna make a chandelier,
Look, sometimes if you want things done right, you got to pay an Italian guy.
Yeah.
Like if you want like really good cheese at your wedding, you got to fly a guy from Italy to come in and make mozzarella cheese.
and by Italy, Little Italy in Manhattan.
That cheese was so fucking
That was the
good.
best mozzarella I think
Worth
I've
it,
had in
right?
my life. We're talking about Brian's wedding, yet he flew in an Italian man who didn't speak English and just looked at you and nodded and gave you fresh mozzarella. The guy literally has a giant ball of like boiling water and he's just making fresh mozz, just handing it to you. For a man who wasn't Italian, I think he can get his Italian card.
Well, I married
one.
Yeah. I'm not just a fan. I'm a member.
So the publishers were withholding some money from him.
Yeah.
Because they're like, hey, like you didn't have any hits. You kind of like
He wants an
you're a loss.
advance.
You're at a loss. Yeah. And it turns out somebody was siphoning funds at the time from the account. They're like, oh, he wanted some more money. We sent the $25.
Yep.
He's like, oh, I'll pay you back. That's his friend Forrester.
Yeah.
Forrester's his like best buddy,
His agent.
his best friend, and he's like, hey, he's siphoning from the
You
account.
manager?
So
boss.
that kind of shows like, oh, he's not just losing money from his flops. He's also losing money from somebody who he's taking care of. That's like, and it turns out it was his parents.
They had the guy from Ace Ventura 2.
Yeah.
Yes, he's there.
They're so.
What's
they're
his
just
name in it?
Fucking boomers.
In what?
The parents remind me of boomers,
Oh, yeah.
right? Like,
Well,
they're
That's not who I meant, though.
Yeah.
There's actually 2 characters from Ace Ventura
Yes,
2 in
yes.
this movie.
Mr. Leach.
There was the guy who's his friend in it,
The heavy guy.
the fat guy,
The fat
yes,
guy, yeah.
who was the news crier in Rome.
Yes, he is.
He works at the publishing house,
Yes.
and then the guy he hires to
Mr.
do the
Leach.
illustrations
That's Mr. Leach.
is the bad guy from Ace Ventura 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was
Yes.
the
Yeah.
The director of this just loves Ace
Loves
Ventura
When
too.
nature calls.
He tried to get Jim Carrey to play Dickens.
Oh, who directed this?
Who directed this?
Yeah, let's look it up. Let's see what else he did.
His
Dare to
name.
direct.
Oh boy, his name.
Do it.
Bharat Nalaruri. He's an Indian dude.
Say it one
I'm
more,
sorry.
Say it one more time.
Bharat Nalaruri.
Wow.
I think you did it good. Let me see.
What the hell was his intention in making this?
Maybe that's a Christmas Carol. Let me see.
Yeah.
I want to try to pronounce it.
I don't know any of his other stuff.
I want to try to
Scroll
pronounce this. Okay.
Bharat Nalaruri. Yeah.
Bharat
Bharat Naluri.
Bharat Naluri. Yeah, you did pretty
Bharat
good.
Nalaruri. Yeah.
Naluri, not Naluri.
Naluri. Yeah.
Naluri.
Look, you get an American
You
name,
did
I'll
good.
pronounce it right. All right?
He did The Killing Time. He did The Crow. Salvation
That's like The Crow 5. None of us saw that.
in 2000. No, this was the second Crow.
I don't know if I saw
How did they make
that one.
another crow after the guy died?
Kirsten
recast
Dunst.
him.
Kirsten Dunst is in it.
She checks in.
That's Kirsten Dunstan.
I think Get Him laughed. At
Yeah,
that.
he did.
Oh, this is a TV guy. He did a lot of TV stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I am Bharat Naluri.
really
I will
don't know
bring you
any
all
of
of the
that,
Christmas classics.
You know what?
Yeah.
I
Look,
say
he did a good job.
He did fantastic. This was awesome.
So
I think you're hyping this up.
I loved it. No, I really loved it.
It wasn't bad. It was a fun movie. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't this like amazing thing.
it hit Steve in the right place at the right time.
I like.
My wife loved it.
I love
Yeah?
whimsical. I love whimsical.
Yeah.
So if you give me a whimsical movie that
It was fun. You know, it was a fun movie.
I have no complaint. The movie knows what it is, and it does it very well.
Right,
Christopher
right.
Plummer was the best thing in the movie. He was great.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
Um,
General Chang.
Yes. Well, also, do you know who else is in this?
Who?
Plays Dickens' father?
Oh, Brazil.
Oh yeah, but I was thinking more Bond. He's the villain in Tomorrow Never
Yes,
Dies.
Yeah.
Oh, is
What's
he?
his name?
Jonathan Pryce.
He's in 1,000
He's in
movies.
Rome
He is,
too,
yeah.
isn't he?
No, he's not in Rome.
Are you sure? Isn't he Cassius?
No, he's not in Rome.
I guarantee you're gonna
Um,
look up the list of movies that man is
He's
in.
in
You're gonna
Pirates
be
of the
like,
Caribbean.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
But he's the
He's
villain
Governor Swan.
in Tomorrow Never Dies. James Bond puts him in like a news by the way, this is the biggest missed opportunity for Bond quips ever. So there's like a giant drill that's gonna like impale
Mhm.
Jonathan Pryce, his
Mhm.
character, Elliot Carver, onto like a stack of newspapers being printed, right?
Mhm.
Now the quip should
She's the one
be-
with the invisible ship.
No, that's the 2 from now. 2 from what we're talking about. That's Die Another Day.
There's
No, that's Tomorrow Never Dies.
Tomorrow Never Dies, there's no invisible ship.
Yes, there is.
In-
Die Another Day is the one that's in the snow.
That has the invisible car.
Die Another Day is the one where they have an invisible Navy ship. And they fucking are going to like cause an international incident with China.
Yeah, we're talking about Tomorrow Never Dies.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, I see. I was thinking of actually physically invisible, like the invisible car.
What am I thinking of? Isn't it invisible? It's not invisible, the ship?
No, you see it in Tomorrow Never Dies. They basically he's
All right,
gonna,
what the fuck? Come on, guys. Come on. I'm bored. I'm on the show and I want to kill myself. Enough of the ship. What happens?
So anyway, so James Bond is going to impale him onto a stack of newspapers, right? Now, the quip should be what's red and white and, something like
Red
that,
all
right?
over.
Yeah, as he impales him. Instead, he goes, "You forgot the number one rule of media.
What's that?
Give the people what they want." And then he shoves a giant drill into him and impales him.
That's not what they want, is it? They want him impaled?
I mean, that's what I wanted watching it, but I think Bond could have quipped better there.
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying.
I agree with you.
I remember there was a guy in that movie. I saw that in theaters. And it's maybe the only time I've ever seen it.
Okay.
So we're talking like 25
Yeah,
years
He's
ago.
arguing
That
about
came
it.
out the same year as Titanic.
But I remember it. And I remember I was watching it with my friend Jake.
Okay.
And there was a guy, like a henchman, that he fought.
Stomper.
He kept fighting him multiple times.
Stomper. Yeah.
And my friend turned to me and he goes, "That guy's name must be Tomorrow because he never dies."
Fuck, that's brilliant.
That's a really funny joke.
That's brilliant. Oh, that's good. Shout out to you, Jake. Love you, guy. Oh, it's fucking good.
Anyway, so back to
anyway.
the movie.
Yeah.
So he's in the like restaurant with his buddy, and there's like an old waiter named Marley,
Yeah.
and he's like
It's
Marley, and he
decrepit.
writes that name down.
Yeah. So they show that everyone
Apparently, he really
meets-
did stuff like that.
Yes, he took names that he heard from everywhere and
Mhm.
used it in real life. And when he would write, this will happen later in the movie, but we could talk about it now.
Mhm.
He would actually hallucinate the characters were there and like talk with them and stuff.
I don't know about that.
No, that's true.
Really?
Yeah, if you look into it, yeah, that's actually accurate.
I saw this morning, believe it or not, on Instagram, that he got the idea for A Christmas Carol while in a cemetery in Scotland. And he was reading gravestones. And he read a name that was like Ebenezer Scringle.
Okay.
It said a meal man on the thing.
What's
but
a meal man?
I don't know. Someone who makes meals.
Okay.
But he misread it and he read it as mean man. And he thought to himself, what kind of guy would be so awful that they'd write a mean man on his tombstone? And that's how the mind started going to come up with this character.
Huh.
From a gaff.
From him
Yeah.
Misreading a tombstone. Yeah.
Imagine
know what?
they put that on your tombstone.
That's
a
not-
mean man.
That's not far from what's in the
this.
film.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if the story's true, it's pretty interesting.
So not only that, but then what you said, where he's hallucinating characters and talking to them and stuff. that's in this too.
Yeah.
This makes me like it even more.
Mhm.
I think I bumped up my rating a little bit.
Yeah, there's some interesting accuracy in it. Like the whole thing with his dad and the boot black shit, which is the crux of the film.
real.
Yeah.
It's all real.
It's all real.
yeah.
Which we'll get into in a little bit, but I don't want to get into it this exact second.
So, you know, he has like this, you know, he has to come up with a new story quick.
He gets paid to come up with a new book, one chapter, $620 for one chapter. The equivalent
Pounds,
today,
620
pounds,
Yeah.
but that's
What's a
$25,000 today.
Shilling's like cents.
That's like $1.
So there's a difference between, so
like a
shillings
loony and a
make up
toonie.
pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a
Okay.
loony and a toonie, kind of.
I
No,
always
it's
get
not.
confused with
It's
that.
not like that at all.
I meant like it's coins. Cents.
A loony is $1 Canadian. A toonie's $2 Canadian. A shilling is
It's
like
just like a cent.
cents.
Oh,
They
okay.
make up a pound. Like, yeah.
100 shillings or whatever it is make up a pound.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's $25,000 today. 620 pounds
For one chapter?
for one chapter. $25,000.
That's meds.
That's a pretty good
Yeah.
deal.
It's a pretty good deal.
Well, you know what? What other entertainment really is accessible to the mass public?
They love it. They
You
love
know,
reading.
it's what
yeah.
they got.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love he has a line. He's like, debt is an ogre. Like he hates debt, you
Mhm.
know?
Yes.
Well, it tortured his life when he was a child.
It
Yeah.
ruined his life.
You know, so
And his family's life.
Yes.
yeah.
And I love he's pitching the book to someone and they're like, the poor don't belong in books. Because he's
Yeah.
at like
Yeah.
some rich event.
They say the line.
Yeah. Oh, well,
There
They
is
might as well
such
die.
a disconnect from the nobility and the aristocracy of that society to the working man, the guy who is essentially a slave in the mills.
yes.
You know?
Yeah, that's definitely not happening today.
It's like this is the time when like communism is being invented.
You
and
can see why.
you can see that
You can see why.
the criticisms are there and they're real and that you can make those criticisms. It's the solutions that are the problem.
Right. They didn't realize you could make it worse.
Well, the end goal of communism is this fictional utopian society.
Right.
Where it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, like if you could take that fantasy of the end goal and
Who would
make
be
it real,
against it?
it's awesome.
Right, yeah.
The problem is that it's actually fucking
You need a
impossible.
particle
It's-
replicator.
It's against human nature.
You need a
Yeah.
particle replicator. That's how you get a successful communist society. You need to make
what,
food
like from Star
nothing.
Trek?
Yes. You
Yeah.
need to make items and food from nothing. Therefore, you don't need to work for it.
Mm.
So that's how you do it. That's all. We just have
Not
to come
my
up with
Star
that.
Trek.
Not your Star Trek. So we
I only like Enterprise where they had the chef.
now this is something. This
Who's
is
revealed to be Riker
Yeah, it's in the final
in
episode.
a hologram program. He spent 4 years watching 5 seasons, right?
4.
4, yeah. He spent
Yeah.
4 seasons watching a holodeck program. You didn't realize.
so we meet his muse.
Who's his muse?
His muse is the maid.
Is she
Tara.
from Game of Thrones?
No, she's from that video of the acid bath queen of darkness and Tara. You don't know what I'm talking about.
What
No,
the
what?
fuck? What is he? What are you,
You know what
saying?
I'm talking about?
No.
There's you'll find it and you're gonna put it in the clip on YouTube.
Yeah.
But it's a YouTube video and we're gonna watch it right now of 2 girls in like 2005 on YouTube, and they had a series where they would come on and they were goths, and the one girl would go, "My name is
Oh,
the acid bath queen of darkness," and
remember
then her
this.
friend would go,
Yeah.
"And I'm Tara."
Yes. I remember. this.
Okay, now I know it. Yeah.
The new year.
Well, she's a good Irish storyteller.
Yeah, she is. She loves ghosts and such.
Ghosts and such. That's the name of my book.
Yeah, I thought that was Ginny from Game of Thrones.
It looks like
Who's
her,
Ginny?
but it's not.
She's the one that like is in
remember
love with Samuel Tarly.
Oh,
I thought that
the
was
one with the
her.
big gums.
Yeah, I thought that was her.
I thought that was the one from SNL.
Wait,
no,
oh,
she's a comedian.
oh, you thought that was Vanessa Bryant?
It's not.
No.
So he sees the maid reading to the children, and he's like, "Oh, it's a ghost story," and that's kind of where he starts to get his creative spark from. Is like her, clearly.
Well, he's taking bits and pieces of everything he sees.
Yeah, but I think she's the main.
It's like when Randy Newman writes a song.
Oh yeah, how does Randy Newman write a song?
Yeah.
He just talks about what he sees. You saw Toy Story. You know how
Can
that
you give us an
happens.
example of Randy Newman's song right now from what you see?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sitting at the table with Brian. He's looking at me wearing a dumb sweater. There you go. There's Randy Newman.
That's
writing
a
a song.
10 out of 10. Thank
Hit, certified banger.
you. Yeah.
Remember that bit from Family Guy?
Yes.
No, I don't remember
Yeah.
any Family Guy bits.
And he walking toward me,
Yeah.
and then he looking angry.
Yeah.
And then he,
Fat old
And then he
husband
walks
walking over.
and he punches him in the face. So we find out they're having another kid because Dickens isn't a clever name. He's dicking it. And I can't imagine having like 5 kids, let alone 10.
I think after a time,
That's
they're just a
scary.
statistic. You don't even think about that.
Right, because half of them
Well,
are probably dead.
He's also rich
The
enough to have
1800s,
nannies
right?
and help.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
I
not
guess
him and
that's
his wife
true.
as they're going to work every day.
Right. Yeah.
So
you know?
if you had like hired help, you would have like a clan, you know?
At this point, I want as many as I could have. I
Okay.
want to maximize the brood,
Mm.
the Roop
Right.
brood.
Right.
Brian thinks of himself as like an insect.
Yes.
He's the hive mind.
Yes, he's the Sardak Nor.
Oh my God. Nobody got that. There might, if we're, all right, please,
If
please,
you
you're
got that,
listening, if you got
Let
that,
us know because we need another player.
we will invite you to play with us as long as you don't tell anyone what we say in the privacy of our home.
The Sardak Nor. Fucking nerds. I was like, why don't I get this reference? Now I know why.
Now you know why.
It's your exclusive nerd shit.
You were invited.
Well, I don't play anymore, but yeah, let's
Oh.
not talk about that.
So now we get a nice, like, I wouldn't call it a montage, but it's little quick pieces of the story that
Yes.
reflect real life and what he puts from real life into this craft.
Mhm.
You know, you get the bah humbug,
Well, he sees the rich dead guy.
rich dead
Yes.
guy. You get the guy selling little kids, which is creepy and sad. You know, they,
Yeah, is
they
he
better
just-
die and reduce the surplus.
Is he
population.
slaving?
Well, there's
Is he
actually
selling slaves?
Yes.
so this
yeah,
is
yeah.
this is a part of Dickens' life that many people don't know. He actually went undercover doing sting operations, setting up cameras and stuff. And he
Cameras?
and he went and did like raids. Sound of Freedom was actually based on the adventures of Charles Dickens in
Mhm.
Victorian London
Okay.
as he went after sex trafficking.
Yes.
Yeah, Sound of Freedom starring Dickens.
You might as well have just.
I didn't
been
know they
that-
had Peruvians in London.
Yeah, I didn't know we were trying to replay the train incident from his fucking life. Thank you, Brian.
He was an action badass. Yeah, that's such a weird moment in this movie though.
Yeah.
The deep-
Where like he's
yeah.
these like this guy tries to sell him children.
This artful Dodger type.
Yeah. And he's like, hey, and he tries to chase the
tries
guy
to
down.
save the kids
Mhm.
and he can't.
And he ends up in like
He ends up in a
this-
cemetery. Like the kid, we just forget that was happening because
Yeah.
he just
Yeah.
like is enamored by this cemetery he's in.
He's like, oh well, you win some, you lose some.
Sorry, kids, I tried.
You're lost to the London
to the underground.
Yeah.
But
They're in some rat hole being fucking rogered by an old cockney man.
oh, you want workers? Help me, mister.
You'll be working on this.
Well, yeah, you think having his
Let me
past-
see your hands.
You think with this man's past, who had a horrific experience, like
Well, he
working as a
tried,
child,
but he got easily distracted
he ran
because
half
he's
a
a
block.
dreamer.
He couldn't help himself.
He ran half a block.
That's more than I could do. Stay-
Don't be modest, Brian. You saved that dog.
That's true.
It ran in his backyard, though, right?
Well, I trapped him into my backyard.
trapped him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, if only Dickens could have had the foresight to trap the rapist
Yeah,
slaver.
he would have needed to put a kid in
This
his
is-
backyard
This is how
to lure him.
This is how Brian gets his game ideas. He just walks around the ghetto. Anyway, he gets the spark. He runs home.
It's funny you think I can run.
Lightly walk into your car and drive home. Well, he runs home to the office and
and
he
subjects us to pointless trivia.
Yeah, it's fun for him. He writes a hammer blow to the rich
Yes.
and to the smug.
That's a real thing he did say.
I'm writing a hammer blow to the smug.
He said this is going to be, it's something to that effect. But yeah, that's basically a real quote from him.
Okay. He did. It
I
was
think
successful.
his real quote was sledgehammer.
I was waiting. I'm like, who's going to do it? He went home to write Sledgehammer, which when it was recreated was
He
a
kicked
bigger
the
hit.
habit.
Don't want to be sledgehammer.
Playing on a harpsichord. It's going to be a hit, honey. What I found interesting, and I really am happy they put this in here. When he tells his partner, he's like, I'm writing a Christmas novel.
Yeah.
He goes, does anyone even celebrate Christmas anymore?
Okay, I was waiting to talk about this.
I want to talk about this. Yes.
Okay.
Let's talk about
Let's
it.
talk. Let's chat, guys.
Boxing Day was a much bigger holiday in England at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So in this movie, they say Dickens is the man who invented Christmas. I have to kind of take some exception to that because really
Obviously, he didn't invent Christmas.
Yeah.
they're talking about as like more of a big holiday
It
thing.
popularized it to a point
Yes.
and that had never seen before.
Easter was always the big religious holiday.
Right.
Mhm.
That was really the thing. This, like, I think culturally, it started to shift, I think, because of a couple of things. Number one is the book or the poem, "'Twas the Night Before Christmas."
Was that before this?
Yes, the night before Christmas.
So that was the creation of Santa Claus, pretty much.
Wasn't that not too far off, though?
That's like 20 years earlier.
That's not far.
But it's gets the ball rolling and it's
Mhm.
in the public
On
conscious.
this holiday renaissance.
Yes, exactly.
Well, it was banned for a while.
well,
In certain places,
Certain
yeah.
places it was banned. We
well,
went
the
over this,
purpose
yeah.
of the holiday was really for the poor to stir shit up
Mhm.
and go to the rich, and
drunk.
they would do a day of basically role reversal,
Mhm.
and it kind of set everyone in their social classes, putting them where they are.
Right.
Visit from St. Nicholas.
Hence
is-
the caroling and whatnot. Like it's all about
Mhm.
charity and giving alms. and
Exactly.
Well, the charity got boosted from this novel.
Oh, sure. I mean,
Like,
well, he
tremendous.
guilts everyone into like, you're going to hell, redeem yourself.
Yeah.
Like,
Stop
be good
being
to
a
your
piece of
fellow
shit.
man. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I will also say this when you say that, like you kind of have a gripe with the fact that it's like the man who invented Christmas, like that title's not fitting. You mean?
I think it is.
It
But-
was in the air.
It's in the air, and it really starts. It's 1823.
Right.
I'll
I'll say this
is
though.
a visit from St. Nicholas, which
If-
is an American work.
If
Mhm.
you ever get
So he's like, if you ever disrespect Dickens again,
I'll-
I will fucking stab you.
murder you. No, if you ever look at Christmas decorations, like little town decorations and overall like carolers, they're always from the 1800s, mid 1800s.
Yeah.
You're never going to see modern.
Well, this is
decorations.
it
You know what I'm saying?
becoming popularized.
Yeah.
I do think that when you
It's
say
from
the
a
man
Christmas
who,
Carol. Like Christmas Carol
it's that, yeah.
creates like this imagery of what the holiday becomes
Yes.
in the modern sense.
And and a
Yes.
lot of it is
Yeah.
like it really. I saw some crazy stat from the publication of Christmas Carol
Mhm.
until like 2020. Do you know how many like times it actually snowed on Christmas
Not a
Well,
lot.
It depends where you are
in England?
on Earth.
In England,
Oh, in
Oh,
England.
England, it rarely snowed.
it was like
Yeah.
10 times within like 200 years.
Right.
But when Dickens was a kid, there was this streak of like 7 Christmases in a row where it snowed in England.
because it was the wrapping up of the Little Ice Age.
But
Yeah.
that is in his mind,
We're
his
writing-
snowy Christmases.
Right.
And that is why in the book it's like a snowy England.
That's awesome.
And because of that book, that's how you like.
synonymous.
Still, when I picture Victorian England,
Snow.
it's always snowy
Okay.
because fucking Christmas Carol. I
Right.
know that's obviously summers and shit,
All right.
Yeah.
but like if you like picture that, I picture
You saw the Elephant Man. You
yeah.
and interview with a vampire.
Isn't that in New Orleans?
Yeah, but they go back and forth.
But yeah, I
The
think
gayest movie ever.
It's
I think you do have
Damon would be proud.
Yes, Neil. Get Neil on the phone.
Neil.
Ask if he likes interview.
I think you do have to give some credit though to Clement Clark Moore, who because he's an American and the book was first published anonymously, I think he kind of gets
I like how
overshadowed.
he drops that name like, you know, the guy.
You guys know. Everyone knows.
Well,
what
I
I'm
have
talking about.
Wikipedia up. Yeah, I'm going to try to make myself seem
Everyone
smart.
knows who I'm talking about.
But yeah, he wrote A Visit from St. Nicholas, and I think he does deserve some
So
credit.
that was before.
That was 1823. That
I
was
didn't know
published.
that.
But was it as well received?
Yeah, it was huge. It was a massive success.
Right
Yeah,
out the gate.
Yeah, it was reprinted a bunch of times.
But compared to A Christmas Carol,
This guy's got to be bigger.
it's got to be bigger. It's the biggest piece of literature probably ever, besides like the Bible. Like
I don't know.
everyone knows that story.
I mean,
if
one
you
is a
speak
poem,
English.
one is a poem,
One's a novel.
and one's a novel. So you know,
Yeah, okay.
like how do you decide what's more influential? I mean,
The novel.
you could also you could say this is more influential because of all the Santa shit that follows.
True.
You know,
Mhm.
so I don't know how you want to take it, but.
Mhm.
You know, I think they're both equally important, and I think it's a cultural tide. And then the other thing that happens, and they mention it at the end of the movie, is this novel came out at the perfect moment because
Alfred.
Alfred is coming from Germany
Yeah.
and he's bringing the Christmas tree with him.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's this new novel thing.
Tannenbaum.
Everything is kind of gearing up towards Christmas.
Yeah.
It's really building to this perfect thing.
Un Tannenbaum. Yes, Un Tannenbaum. So it takes 6 weeks. He has 6 weeks to write the book and finish
Yes.
it. That's crazy. I don't know if that's real though.
That is real.
It's he only had 6 weeks.
He wrote it in 6 weeks. He had no time, and he did self-publish it.
Took a page right out of our book.
Yeah, he did it himself, but he was denied. You know, the pub, they didn't want to do a Christmas
I seek
book.
justice. Denied.
Addams Family.
Yeah. They did deny him, which
Okay.
makes sense because, you know, hey, you're a psycho. We're not gonna be able to pull this off. And he's like, I'm gonna do it myself. But
yeah.
there was
Good
one
on
thing.
him.
One thing comes into his life: his parents.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's talk about his parents because
So-
this is an important role in his life, and I don't know how accurate this part is.
So they portray his father as like this conning bumbler,
A desperate guy.
a good-hearted man.
Well spoken.
yes. But like a swindling fool, you know. And
Sure.
as
Poor.
I
I don't want to say swindler. I
as
say poor.
no, because he's doing he's like trying to make money off his son's name and whatnot.
But only to get a gift for the kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like it's never
yeah.
nefarious.
So, as I understand it, like the father was a hardworking man
Mhm.
who just spent more than he made. Like
Right.
he was just bad with money. So when Dickens was 12 years old, and he was the fifth of 8 children. So this is another giant ridiculous family.
Insane.
the Dickens like to fuck, man.
They-
It's in their name.
They
It's
do.
their name.
They
Yeah.
fuck like the Dickens.
That's where the term comes
yes.
Very, very accurate.
from. His father got himself into some debt.
Yeah.
But do you know what the debt is? Did you look this up?
No.
40 pounds and 60 shillings.
Oh my God.
That's it. And it got him put in debtor's prison because he couldn't
So
pay that back.
is about. So it's $4.50 to one. It's about $160, $170.
It's not a lot of money.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not a lot.
But unable to pay that to his loaners, whoever
Had to
loaned
go
him the money,
work.
he had to go to debtor's prison. Now the way this works back then is it's really prison. Like you can't go out
Yep.
and make the money, so you're stuck there.
Yeah.
And if there are dependents who aren't working, they have nowhere else to go, so they end up in the debtor's prison with you. So it's literally him, his wife, and a few of their young children are now in prison. Charles, who's 12, is the only one in the family who has already, has a job. He's working in this boot black place.
Yeah.
Like he makes shoe polish. Now he makes 6 shillings a week. So as you can imagine, it's
Nothing.
very
It's
difficult
nothing.
for him
It
to
will take
save
him
up the
forever.
money
Yeah.
to get his family out of prison. He has to pay back the 40,
Yeah,
pounds.
40 pounds.
and it ends up taking him like over a year, but he will get them out.
Wow.
And then it's left him, with all of this experience
This trauma.
and hatred for like the system.
I mean, debtors' prisons are just fucking
It's-
awful.
Yeah. And then they come out, I think it's in 1836, they have the Poor Law in England, which creates the workhouses.
Okay.
Whereas, like, if anyone's on the street, if the homeless, they'll like scoop you up and
put you to work.
Put you to work in these like slave factories.
Yeah. Now, when did that? I don't know. Did England? I'm assuming they got rid of their debtors' prisons, right?
There's no way they still exist. I don't know exactly the process.
Yeah, like I wonder what would cause that to end.
I was deaf. Oh wait, hold on a second. I was wrong with that number.
It's 1834 is the Poor Law. I said 36.
Yeah, I was wrong with that number. It's way more than $100. It's actually a lot.
Oh yeah,
40
pounds. 40.6 pounds.
40.6. Okay, let's double check this because I feel that's 5,100 pounds today.
Oh wow. So it's $5,000.
That's
$5,100.
That's excessive. Yeah.
All right, so it's a lot more substantial than I would have thought, but still, it's not an astronomical.
Yeah, even my number before when I said 25,000 was dollars was wrong because it's 78,000 euro.
Oh yeah.
So maybe this website's wrong, but either way, it's not a small amount.
And you have it in 1840. It's actually
a little after. Yeah.
It's before that. It would be like 1821, something like that.
So it might be more.
Yeah.
So there was the Debtors Act of 1869, which limited the ability of the courts to sentence debtors to prison, but it did not entirely prohibit them from doing so. And then as recently as 1905, there were still people being put in debtors' prison, but I don't know what stopped the practice.
I'm sure the social safety nets got invented just like they did in this country. You know, you had the progressive
That would
movement.
make sense.
But if you go too high into debt, you go to jail.
In what?
The United States.
No, we don't have debtors' prisons. We've never had them.
I wish we did. We'd get rid of the federal government. We can put the whole fucking thing in debtors' prison.
Brian wouldn't be sitting at the table.
Would they let me pod from debtors' prison?
I thought if you go way too far into debt, though, like you're actually responsible for a certain amount. Like I'm not talking like regular, like millions of dollars kind of thing.
Well, there's always bankruptcy and all sorts of things. You know, it's like the rich, even when they go bankrupt and they lose their money, you know, they always find a way out of it.
Yeah, maybe he has a point. Maybe we should arrest them all.
All right. Anyway, back to the movie.
Before we all get arrested by the FBI.
Where are we? So there's a guy who throws a cat for like some reason.
This guy throws a cat.
Yeah, it's in the.
Oh, it's his like lawyer. They're doing
cat
a
is his lawyer.
No. They're doing there's a lawsuit case, and the cat's sitting on the chair.
Every case. I'm just a cat. I don't understand these
meow,
rules.
meow, meow,
meow, meow. That's all I know.
I know. There's a mouse.
Not guilty.
There's a mouse. I chase it. Yeah, the cat's sitting on his chair. It's like, get the fuck out of here.
He was suing someone for a parody called Oliver Twisted, which I can't find any information about it. But apparently,
must be a real riot.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was a copyright case, and he won.
And he won, and the person didn't have the money to pay the fine, and they were going to get thrown in a debtor's prison.
And he wouldn't let that happen.
And Dickens won't let it happen. Yeah. So he takes a 25% loan
on 300 pounds.
On 300 pounds, so he can, try to do the book.
He gets raked.
Yeah.
But he believes in the idea strongly.
Yeah.
Have you ever believed in an idea strongly that much?
You're looking at it, guys.
I think the lawyer was in Rome.
What?
Yeah, I think he may have been.
I think he was like Cato.
Cato Kalin?
No, not that Cato.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That he'd have to look that up.
So I like he's trying to get the name Scrooge, and he's like
Scruntish.
And he comes with Scrooge, and then Christopher Plummer shows up.
Yes.
Yeah, he gives his maid Aladdin.
Yeah.
He's like, read this.
Now, Aladdin, am I wrong in thinking, is that part of the 1001 Nights Scheherazade?
It is, yeah.
Why did he have like I guess that's just Aladdin? Like a version of
Well, it was a big book. I think it was the whole thing, and he was just kind of focusing on Aladdin as the as the main story.
I guess for the audience's sake, just because more people would know what that is than Scheherazade.
Exactly.
If they would have said
they're
Scheherazade,
not Renaissance fans.
Yeah. If they would have said Scheherazade, I probably would have bumped this up another point. like, oh crap.
So his father shows up with a bird.
A raven.
Yes.
A raven named Tuki. It's another.
Hello, Tiki.
It's another Ace Ventura thing
too.
But I guess that's from the Ravens.
Every
before, right?
Christmas, I climb out of a rhinoceros's ass.
So you have a bird, right?
I have a bird. Yeah.
Do you like living with your bird?
Okay.
Because it seems like, from my experience with you, it seems like an awful gift to give to someone.
It wasn't. Yeah. So it wasn't a gift to me. Alex, my wife, wanted it, and I got her the bird. And
you bought the bird?
I bought the bird. She
brought that evil into your house?
Yes, I brought the evil into my house. It's very loud. It's very annoying if you're not near it. If you are near it and it chills with you, very quiet, very loving. It's actually a good pet if you have the time to be around it. I don't have that kind of time, so I get yelled at all day by the bird. It's very stressful.
Loving. It's got a stupid bird.
It's very
brain.
loving. It's very loving and it's smart. I promise you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I got blue jays
cockatoo.
nesting outside my
cockatoo.
house.
Oh yeah.
I'm anticipating them like dive bombing me because that's what they're known to do.
Blue jays dive bomb people?
Yeah, like if
Really?
if they don't like you.
Please set up cameras.
Well, you got to feed them
Please,
so they like
please.
you.
You need to set up cameras so I could see you getting dive bombed by birds.
That would be great
It
footage.
would be very funny.
Ah!
Yeah, they're all over the place.
Well, we go back to the movie. I love the meeting between him and Scrooge when he's talking to Scrooge.
Oh yeah.
Did you get like inspiration to write anything watching this? Were you like, I kind of want to write now?
I always want to.
Yeah.
It's the problem of time. Time is my enemy in everything I try to accomplish.
But he's
Time keeps
like,
on slipping
into the
Into
future.
the future.
Yeah, the future. Yeah. As a great man once said.
Right. Specifically from Space Jam.
So
Was that for Space Jam?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in Space
Really?
Jam. Yeah.
Time keeps on slipping.
Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing.
It's
He's like
the
dunking.
opening.
He's like teaching him.
Did he make it for the movie?
Oh, I don't know.
He may have.
Came out around the same time.
Yeah.
I had
obviously.
no idea. That was a big hit.
Yeah. It's either the opening or the end of the movie, right? Because he's like, if I make this, I'll be the greatest basketball player who ever lived. And
I know
MJ
it's.
hits
I
the
know
shot.
it's like they're playing.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's like
I haven't seen that movie since like 1995.
there was a second one that came out.
The second one is awful.
Do you like Space
Oh,
Jam?
you saw it?
Yeah, I like the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the soundtrack too. Bugs Bunny has a rap song at the end. It's great.
Nice.
More money than any rabbit's voice. That's what he says on the track. at
Are
the
you
end.
like upset after hearing that a little bit? 'Cause I am.
Do you know Brian? Not many people know this about Brian, but he actually prides himself on his Bugs Bunny voice.
No, my Bugs Bunny's terrible.
Really?
I would not say I have a good Bugs Bunny. What are you talking about?
I didn't say you did. I just thought you had a good. Bugs Bunny.
no, my Bugs.
You know when you said not many people know about that?
Apparently me too.
he doesn't know either.
Yeah. When
You're
have
the
you-
only one.
What do you
I've
have?
heard you talk about it before, like that you trying to practice your Bugs Bunny voice.
I've tried to practice it. I'm not good at it.
Give us a bug.
Say ain't I a stinker?
Nah, ain't I a stinker?
It's not bad.
That's not
It's
terrible.
not bad.
I'm not confident. My Mickey's far
Let
better.
me-
Workshop
let me-
it.
you joker.
Workshop it.
You want to hear my Mickey? My Mickey's not bad.
Yeah, give me Mickey.
Huh? Oh boy.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'll give you that
My,
one.
my Mickey. I think my Mickey is strong.
Make him say something horrible. Make Mickey say something.
Oh boy. I love genocide.
That's not horrible enough.
Hey, Mickey, do you have any tauntauns?
Tauntauns? Huh? What's a tauntaun?
What the hell was that?
I don't know.
South Park. I got tauntauns coming out my ass.
I got
Oh.
tauntauns coming out of my ass.
I guess because Disney bought Star Wars.
Oh.
I think Luke is my strongest.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
yes.
Luke?
No.
Lucas.
Lucas. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, man. Let's get back into it.
Yeah.
Shall we?
So I like the knocker. It's like he hears a knock and he's like, "What's that noise?"
Yes.
And it's Marley.
and turns into a Muppet head and goes,
Yes.
whoa!
When Marley and
It's
Marley,
the best song.
Oh, it's
avarice and
It's so
greed.
good.
I like One More Sleep Till Christmas a lot.
That's
just
just fantastic.
Christmas.
Yeah.
It's the season to be jolly and joyous.
Joyous.
I know what I'm doing when I get home.
Have you ever seen the deleted musical number with the girl?
If you watch it on Disney Plus, you could put that back in because it's in the
When I was a
theatrical
kid,
version
I had a VHS tape that had that in it.
because that's in the theatrical version.
Is it?
It got cut from later releases for some reason.
So when I used to watch it a million times when I was a child, I always saw that.
When
and then,
Love Is Gone.
And then I finally saw it again, like after 15 years of not seeing it. And I was like, I feel like something's missing from the movie. And I had to like look it up.
On Disney Plus, if you're watching it there's a button that will allow you to put it back in.
Wow.
That's weird.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
So when I watch it, I make sure it's the
You gotta have it.
Yeah.
So they like he's with his parents and they explain why they're back. It's
They're
like
better than ever. You were thinking it worked.
Yeah, but I decided not to do it. You
went for it. You went for it. You know, this banishment is killing your mother. So he keeps getting interrupted by his parents, by his children, by the maid. And each time it's like, oh, he's not gonna be able to finish. It adds a little more to the story, which I liked.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Every interruption
Adds a little bit more to the building.
Yeah,
of
it's good writing.
Yeah.
It is. It's fun.
I think it's a very hard thing in a movie to show the creative process. Because in reality, most of the time,
it's just guys silently thinking.
It's a guy sitting there with a pen as he's like staring into space.
Like the first scene when he's writing, that's what it is.
Yeah.
You know, but they do it in a way where it makes it fun, which is great.
And not cheesy.
Right.
Because it could easily just be like an old, you know, like reading is fun thing.
Yeah.
You know?
But they make it like an introspection to himself, you know?
Yeah.
And if you need help being introspective to yourself,
There we go.
what you could do,
What could we do?
is talk to an online licensed therapist.
Whoa. Where do you do that?
I would go to betterhelp.com. I would click our link in the promo code right down there below. Click it. Talk to an online licensed therapist and get the help you need. A BetterHelp.
Click it before you tick it.
It'd be amazing if we never put the link in. We're just like promoting it.
We've just been saying
saying it.
That would not surprise me.
I promise you the link is pinned there. I'd make sure that fucking link is there. If I'm chilling for this fucking bullshit,
Like the damn
I'm making
link.
sure it's there. I mean, if I'm
It's not
chilling for this
bullshit.
great service that will help you become mentally healthy, give your family the gift of your mental health this season.
How, like on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most mentally unstable, what do you think our average listener is at?
7.
That was quick. You didn't even think about it.
The listenership of psychos.
Psychotics. And there's some outliers that are even more.
Yeah. There's an average, yeah. We love you guys. Seriously, though, some of you probably need better help. So give your family the gift of your mental health this holiday season. Stop being a burden like Steve. And go get betterhelp.com and talk to an online licensed therapist. You don't have to leave your house. You can customize it to yourself, your religion, your preferences, whatever you want, and talk to someone on your time.
I wish I wasn't a burden.
Me too. Betterhelp.com. Okay.
So he comes up with Marley.
And there's the flashback to the dad's
flashbacks
arrest.
to them getting arrested. Forster's like trying to get a fiance, but he can't.
Oh, and his sister has a sick kid.
Sister has a little sick kid
Henry.
that looks like
Crotch.
Tiny Tim, and he rides on his father's shoulder. I have a feeling that was probably real, but I don't know. Did we look into this?
No, I didn't.
No.
Me neither.
I bet it's not real.
You think
That feels like movie shit.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Because if he had like a sick nephew or sick child, that would really make this good. At least when it comes to the
Steve's
history
like, I
part.
really want to.
I really want this to be real. I want it to be real.
I hope there's a boy. I hope there's
just a sick child,
an
just
empty
giving
chair at the
inspiration.
table and a crutch by the fire.
Oh my God, this is real.
What?
His sister Frances had 2 sons, Henry Augustus in 1839 and Charles Dickens Kneller in 1841, both born in London. Henry Jr. was a disabled and sickly child and is said to have been the inspiration for Tiny Tim.
Oh man! Wow, this movie's
more
legit than I thought.
So this is real.
It's sick.
So Dickens legit was just taking
This
shit
is
in his
how
life.
he wrote it. Yeah, it seems this is very accurate.
Yeah,
I'm happy that. Well, I'm not happy that the kid is sick.
That was 100 years, 200 years ago, almost. Yeah,
Everybody died back then.
Well, you had 10 kids. You're gonna lose at least 6. It's 1800s. Mr. Leach.
Mr. Leach. That's a name. Once you get that name, you just got to be a piece
You
of
have
shit,
to be,
right?
right?
Mr. Leach.
There's no,
I do nothing for myself. I only siphon it from the vital. I'm Mr. Leach. I attach myself to hardworking individuals and profit from their sweat and tears.
I only suck the blood out of those I am near.
Yes, I'm Mr. Leach.
Yeah, Mr. Leach, you can't be like a good philanthropist, right?
Wasn't he the Lifestyles and the Rich and Famous guy?
Oh, yeah. Robin Leach. Yeah. I'm Robin Leach.
Yeah.
He's not rich or successful. He just goes to the
Yeah,
house.
he's a leech.
He's leeching off.
He's leeching off the rich and famous.
Now, I found it funny because the other guy. So this is the illustrator who did like the pictures.
Yeah, he's the bad guy from Ace Ventura too.
The guy who put together the book is like Mr. Grub.
Is he?
Yeah, they're all
Grub and
they're all
they're all-
named after bugs. What the fuck is happening? What was happening in London that they're all named after bugs?
The English.
I'm Bill Centipede. I'm here to help you with your book.
Zachary Beetle.
So, do you know that Leach did a book called The Comic History of Rome?
Wait, Leach is real?
Yeah,
Like,
he's a
that's
real
his real
guy.
name?
Yeah, he really is like a popular artist of
And
that
what is
time.
it? Joke books about fucking gladiators?
No, it looks like it's like illustrated history of Rome.
If you open that up and it's just a bunch of people sitting in the Colosseum talking about like they want to be a woman and a man, and
I
then the
want to
people's
be a
front
woman.
of
People's Judea front.
yeah.
I just flew in from Bithynia. Boy, are my arms tired.
There's Italians and there's wops.
See, the thing about Sam nights is they be shopping.
You supposed to throw the Christians to the lions.
How many of y'all like orgies?
Gotta get our composure for a second. Oh god, I can't breathe.
All right. So now,
Mr. Fezziwig.
yeah, he meets a guy named Mr.
He's
Fezziwig.
dancing in the street.
And he's like, oh, this guy, you're going in the book.
This guy's so high energy.
Yeah. You're in there.
And by the way, through this whole thing, like Christopher Plummer keeps appearing and like giving witty quips.
And being an asshole.
Yeah.
Being a Scrooge.
yeah.
Yeah.
Being really
Humbug.
funny though.
Yeah.
Like he's the best part of the movie.
He's great.
Yeah.
And you're watching this, you're like, how come he never played a Scrooge? I guess this.
This
but-
Patrick Stewart stole all the fucking glory from that.
Oh, you think?
Yeah. Enough with fucking Patrick Stewart.
I was actually thinking
Hey.
the other day,
Watch,
we
watch what
haven't
you say.
had, because usually yesterday I watched the George C. Scott version.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
How was that?
It was good. It's it's
Turn it off.
it's a Christmas Carol. It's
Yeah.
1994, but they have,
Charles Dickens, you son of a bitch, I read your book.
oh no,
Was
turn
it-
it off.
What was the-
Turn it off. He's sitting there as they're showing the Tiny Tim's grave. He's all fucked up.
Wasn't Bill Murray in one?
Scrooge.
Scrooged, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my personal favorite.
That's your favorite, Scrooged?
Yeah, I love Scrooged.
Oh.
Number 2 is Muppets. I love them both.
Okay.
But I was thinking they haven't done an adaptation of A Christmas Carol in a couple of years.
Since
Like
Patrick Stewart.
We're watching it.
I'm
We're
talking,
going over
this
it right
is it.
now. Yeah.
This is
What are you
the
talking about?
newest
but
one.
even TV, they used to just do one every couple of years and be like, ABC presents
Oh,
A
yeah.
Christmas Carol.
Well,
and
this-
they'd have
this
some
is-
British
This is a
accent.
very original take because it's not really about A Christmas Carol.
it's
as much as
totally about a Christmas
it's
Carol.
a lot about Dickens.
But it has the entire Christmas Carol story
Yes.
built into the movie.
I know
It's a meta version of it.
Yeah.
it's a very original take. I I like it, but I don't know if I would say like, oh, this is a Christmas Carol movie. You know what I mean?
It totally is, though.
I know, but like,
Yeah, I know. I mean,
You get
there's
it.
more to it,
yeah.
but at its heart, it's another Christmas Carol movie.
So I like he reads in the movie. He reads the book to the nanny,
The maid, yeah.
the maid.
Yeah, she
And-
had gotten there. She was working in a bridal shop in Flushing, Queens. A boyfriend gets her out.
God
God, crushing
damn it.
scenes. Where was she to go? She's out in a fanny.
She's the nanny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found it weird that there was a Jew from Brooklyn in Victorian London. I don't.
Mr. Dickens.
You can't kill Tiny Tim.
How hot was Fran?
So hot, but
She's
that is an
ridiculously
intolerable
hot.
voice.
No, it's hot.
The
You put
voice?
up with
Yes.
it.
Oh, I would not. I can't.
You got to put up with it.
I don't have to put up
I think
with
it's.
it.
I
don't
think it's
have to.
charming.
Yeah.
Shut up. It's not. Put your dick away and think with your brain for a second. You know it's not charming.
Don't tell me what I like.
I do that voice 2 more times, you're gonna want to punch me in the face.
I think he's.
What are
gonna
you
blow
eating?
Or he's gonna
What
get-
the fuck is in
or he's
your
gonna have
mouth?
sex with me. Oh, it's I don't know.
Balls.
Balls.
He's fucking talking to me with his mouth full.
I'm surprised the fat guy's not the one that's been
Oh.
chewing on the show.
Oh, it's decadent. It's tapioca. I had a bubble tea.
Mm.
Oh,
You're such a millennial.
decadent. Where's my avocado toast?
Yeah. Let me pet a doggo.
I'm gonna I'm gonna go buy a Tamagotchi and be really cool.
Yeah, how
and
ironic.
unique.
I have something from the 90s.
I'll go get my Game Boy.
Yeah, I'm gonna, let me listen to the Lumineers.
Don't you like the
He
Lumineers?
loves the
Lumineers are
Lumineers.
fucking
He saw them
awesome.
live. This millennial fuck preaching to me. Because I like sweet things. Fuck you.
Oh, so I love this in the movie. The Ghost of Present comes and they show him like the Cratchits. You know, they show Dickens the Cratchit, and Scrooge is like, "You should let me explain my side of things."
Great line.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
I would love a version of the movie.
He's got like a whole written out thing.
Yeah. How great would a version of A Christmas Carol
From
be?
Scrooge's perspective.
And he's like,
In defense of Scrooge.
yeah. And it's all just like about like, I needed to evict that family.
Posterity is important, you know, the individual.
And the whole
Society breaks down. When
the whole Scrooge defense movie takes place before Christmas Eve. So he's now redeemed
Yeah.
it. Like it ends with him going to bed before like all the ghosts.
And he wakes
and
up the
shit.
next morning, he's just a different person.
Yeah.
Well, he needs a jolly Christmas ghost.
Yes.
And Leech is like, "What the hell are you talking about?
Mm.
Ghosts are scary. I don't know what
Yeah.
what you want me to do." So they dress up Forster in like a crown and like rosy cheeks and like
Mm.
holding something like a
He looks like the Statue of Liberty.
a little bit.
Yeah.
He has like a flaming torch and stuff.
He's jolly though. He is jolly.
That's Seinfeld.
Yeah, it is.
Go ahead, continue.
I said it.
Oh, that's it.
Mhm.
Oh, that's a light
You
one.
know what
Okay.
it is, right?
I forgot why that happened.
They're
No,
talking.
you didn't. You didn't
so
forget.
they're talking about Newman,
Mm-hmm.
and they're describing like his personality.
You think Newman's jolly?
Me personally,
Yeah.
no, but it's because they're talking about why that girl would date Newman,
Mm.
and they're like, "Well, he
Oh,
is
the hot girl. Yeah.
yeah." And Jerry's like, "Is he jolly? He is jolly." Yeah.
Wayne Knight.
So now we meet the ghost of Christmas yet to come.
Mhm.
Tiny Tim is dead.
Yes.
The maid is very upset about this. Forster's
Yes.
very upset about this. Nobody wants Tiny Tim to
Everyone's
die.
like, "You can't kill this
Yeah.
kid."
Scrooge
by the-
has to save him.
By this point in the movie, we're learning about his own Dickens's personal hangups.
Yes.
Yeah, he
With,
doesn't
like,
think evil
He has
can be redeemed.
unresolved resentment towards his father,
Mhm.
who's been hanging around,
He's a bit of a Scrooge, you could say.
You could say
Yes.
that. Yes, he's a Scrooge.
and he needs to solve those issues in order to finish the book. And to me, this was the part of the movie that I found to be a little like stretched out.
This is the most fictional stuff.
Yeah, you could have
Mhm.
shaved off some of this because doesn't it seem to me, and I realize that we're very familiar with the story.
Yes.
And it's been over 150 years of people knowing this thing.
And adapting it to
Right.
everything.
Doesn't the end of A Christmas Carol seem so obvious? Like, obviously, he gets redeemed. Obviously, he gets a second chance and fixes his life. To think that there was ever a moment where Dickens was like, no, it's just gonna be miserable. Tiny Tim dies, and there's no point to any of this. It's so stupid. There's no way that was.
I actually think that could have been a thing at that time, because that could be the lesson. You know, if you're trying to make an impact to the rich, there's two ways you could do it.
You send him to hell.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, you're like, look at how fucked up you are. You killed that kid.
But then there's no point, because then no one can be saved.
Well, that's one way, and then you're hoping that the rich
Right.
will change, or you show them the Scrooge way where things get better. There's
Right.
two ways to do it.
Right, I suppose.
If he kills Tiny Tim, the story's not as popular.
It's not as impactful.
No,
Yeah,
not at
no.
all.
Because there's no way back. You know, it's like what's done is done.
Exactly. That's what makes it great.
When you look at so far the movie in relation to his real life, every little piece so far, like in the movie when he's he's connecting this to this part of the story, this part of the story. If there was no real connection, like written down about this, where it's like, oh, how does he come up with the ending? We really don't know. You got to fill it in somehow. And I think this was a good fill-in. If you had a fill-in,
Yeah, it works.
You know what I mean?
The movie does it well.
yeah.
But
Like, you could-
I just feel like you could have shaved off a couple of minutes, like with him going back to the boot black factory and shit. Like,
Yeah, that
didn't
was
really
kind
need
of,
that.
That was unnecessary.
Well, they
but
want to build
you
that
need
climax,
an end. Yeah,
you know?
need an end.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think it shows.
But he
that,
he essentially what happens at the end of A Christmas Carol plays out in real life for him.
Yes.
Yes.
Where he runs and he stops his father at the train station.
like, hey, come celebrate
Yeah.
with us, live with us.
Right.
You know,
He does the whole thing.
him writing it was therapeutic.
Yes.
So
Now, if he wanted to talk to his father at the train station, he didn't have to run all the way there.
no, he didn't.
What he
What
could have
he
done,
even done?
is used Riverside.fm
Wow, what's
to
that?
contact him, and they could beautifully telecommunicate with each other.
Was there telephones? Like, it was
Well,
like
if the
basic ones, right,
technology
at this point?
existed. Dickens is a smart guy. He would have used
When
Riverside.
when was Alexander Graham Bell?
1890.
Yeah.
Oh, you
wasn't
give Val
around-
the credit, not the Italian guy?
Oh, Marconi.
Yeah.
What is with you and
No,
credit?
no,
today?
Meucci.
Meucci.
Yeah.
What is with you and giving credit today?
I want people to get their credit.
He's obsessed with credit.
What's happening?
I've learned this about Brian from doing the show.
Yeah.
Brian always wants to give everyone their due.
Yeah.
Like the guy who's the real first integrated baseball player. Who was it?
Moses Fleetwood Walker.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, these people are overshadowed, and it's fucking bullshit. They get a raise.
We're watching A Christmas Carol unfold with Brian tonight because he wants credit. He doesn't get it, so he's like trying to give it out.
I don't
You know what
ask
I
for
mean?
credit for myself.
That's what he's saying.
What does he want credit for?
Everything he does.
Brian,
Yeah.
you're a good man and a great friend.
Yeah.
Thank you. I
There you go.
appreciate that. I needed
Little
that.
Christmas spirit.
Now I'm not going to go jump off the bridge tonight.
He's gonna save people from
I'm gonna
jumping.
send Clarence in
Yeah.
after you.
God, please, do you ever pray for me at night?
Oh boy, Brian's thinking about giving away God's greatest gift.
Two galaxies.
Do you ever just stop and pray like, please God help Brian Ruppert?
I
On
shit
your
you not,
nightly
I
prayer.
have done that.
Well, thank you.
It's funny because I do the exact opposite. So it probably just cancels.
He
It's
prays
neutral.
for
That's
my
why.
fall.
That's why
Yeah,
you're
it's-
neutrally going through life.
It's tabula rasa. This is a Riverside ad, right? So Riverside is the best online communication tool. You could telecommunicate in beautiful 4K, great customer service, download it. It's the best thing you could do for podcasting, conferences, any of that stuff. Records it perfectly. It's what you want to use, riverside.fm. Click our promo code, sign up today.
Good.
There you go.
Yeah, click it. Click it. Why not? It's a good time.
All right, so where are we?
Is there anything better than English drinking songs? We're not there, but there was kind of a scene where they were at a bar and they walk out and they're like, I hear it in the background. And I've always seen really cool drinking songs from the English, and we don't have any.
Well, they love
What's
to do
with
that.
this?
Like even their sports teams, like they have like individual songs for
Yeah.
their soccer teams.
Forever blowing
Blowing
bubbles.
They like their celebrations. Much like the Irish. I think that's just a British Isles thing.
Never came here,
Watch
though.
your fucking words, what you're saying. Lumping the English and the Irish together.
I didn't lump them.
I'm just saying, be careful.
There's a man. There's a man who's typing right
he
now.
He has the keyboard up, and he's ready to tell you what's what. I fucking love that guy.
Remember we were talking about outliers before?
Call me a fucking outlier.
Tell me your fucking therapy.
I'm gonna sign up to Riverside just to come and contact you.
He's leaving bad reviews.
Yeah.
So the reason before that happened, we meet Zachary, who's like, "Oh, I sold 10,000 books."
It's actually Thackeray.
Thackeray. Is it actually Thackeray?
It's Thackeray.
Oh, okay. I thought that was just like a funny pronunciation that they were doing to make fun of him.
No, that's like
He's a critic.
he's
Yeah,
also
Thackeray
a writer.
Binks.
Mm.
Thackeray Binks from what's it called?
Hocus
Hocus
Pocus,
Pocus.
yes.
He's actually the great-grandfather of one of my characters. One with a double organ.
Oh, hey George. It's nice to finally meet you.
Surprised
I
you
can't
showed up
steal-
for Christmas.
I can't
You
steal the
can't do
bit.
it. Yeah,
It's-
you can't do it. You can't do it. Brian's having a conniption. Does he do George?
Yeah.
Should he do it?
So in the movie, he goes to the factory and he confronts his past,
Right.
and he realizes that he's not gonna kill Tiny Tim, and he finishes the book.
Who did not die.
Yeah.
He was a child slave, just like in China.
Yeah, he built iPhones
Yeah, he
and
built
tablets.
Mining for cobalt.
Lithium batteries.
Yeah. No shoes.
No shoes.
You ever see those kids in India? They bring in like ships that are decommissioned. They're like so old and fucked up. They'll like beach a ship. And then they get children with no shoes on to wade through rust and mud and like rip the ships apart and like store the scrap metal. It's like the worst job
That's
anyone's ever
horrible.
had.
This got dark.
Yeah.
It's called shipbreaking.
Shipbreaking. That's right.
Shipbreak.
Get him knew what I was talking about. Yeah.
I said it should be hauled away as garbage.
Oh man, you're a Klingon. Yeah, look up videos of shipbreaking and put it in the thing.
I don't want to do that.
Just like, but here's the thing: you stop the show, 10 minutes of shipbreaking, uninterrupted.
Ant's face in the corner, pointing at Bah Humbug.
No, you do like I'm a black guy on Instagram. I'm doing this.
You're pointing up.
the video. It's like send more, reduce the surplus population.
It's so dark. This is the Christmas episode.
Yeah.
Shipbreaking, man, it's fucking awesome.
I've never heard
The
of
kids
this.
yearn to go back
That's
to the
like
mines.
most of the ships that on Earth that like
That's
are
what happens
done.
to
They
them?
send them to get shipbroken.
And what do they do with the pieces? They sell them or reuse them?
Yeah, I guess. Like they're just getting that metal, getting all that copper wiring.
Yeah.
Would you buy like a piece of like a U.S. naval ship?
No, I'd buy pieces of Berlin Wall.
Okay.
Those seem to pop up everywhere.
They sold them. Yeah. Can't you just go to the wall and take a piece off now?
No, it's gone.
I thought there's still remnants
No,
of the
they
wall
got
in
'em
like
on,
sections.
maybe. I know Roger Waters was building things
He's
on
very
it.
Yeah.
obsessed about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like all good artists, Charles now is in fits of rage against his father.
Yes.
You know, he hates him.
I was like, tell him, George.
But realistically,
Charles.
like if you have a bad father, you probably become a better artist, which is why I intend to do this to my child.
works for Michael Jackson.
Yeah, exactly. It works for all good artists. It really does. You know, I'll raise the best author.
I think so. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
look at my output and what I do.
Exactly. I'm gonna force my child to work in a coal mine. You know, 11 years later, I'll come back, try to get his fortune.
What are you going to call your
It'll be
father
good.
and thank him?
Yeah.
Just say thanks, Dad.
Thanks for leaving us and being a jerk off my whole life.
Yeah.
You created me. The success you see in front of you.
Feast upon your work.
The works of your loins.
Feast upon your words.
Feast upon. Oh, he's going to eat you.
Maybe I'm saying suck my dick in like a different way.
Feast on this,
Yeah.
Dad.
But it's almost like you're there and you're like, look at it.
Nude.
Yeah.
Nude.
This is your comeuppance. Emphasis on the cum.
So
There's
twisted.
nothing like Christmas, nothing like a good Christmas episode with child slavery.
Like
And incest.
Brian's dad is just at his house somewhere upstate New York. And he's just sitting on his couch today, and the door gets blasted open, gets kicked open, and Brian's standing there with no pants on. And he's just like, look at me. Look at what you've done.
Who will take care of this?
Yeah. It is, Father, it is time.
Feast your eyes.
And that'll be his redemption. Like Scrooge.
Everyone-
It's all taken care of now.
Yeah.
Everyone needs a good character arc.
Yeah. This is your Christmas Carol.
Yeah. This is how we reconcile with gay incestual rape.
The spirits are just looking in horror.
They go back to the past. How do we stop them
We
from
stop
doing
them.
this?
And every time they can't stop you, it's
It's a time loop.
It's a time loop.
It's a fixed point.
It's like in the
'Cause
Avengers when they're
yeah.
looking for a
Yeah,
timeline where it works.
If this
it
doesn't
never
happen,
works.
like a comet destroys the universe. You know,
Yeah.
like Clarence is like,
How many timelines where he
Dude, how many
doesn't bugger his
we
father?
went through 1 billion. It hasn't happened yet.
Doctor Strange has to keep witnessing it over and over. He's like shell shock. Yeah.
and every time Brian's attitude is just more arrogant. Yes.
He's more into it.
Yeah. Feast upon your works or despair.
What's the actual
It
line that
has
I butchered?
religious overtones.
It's look upon my works and
I like feast upon your work.
I think I like it better now too.
That's a perceiver pickup line. You say that to chicks.
yeah.
Yeah. Somebody try using that. Let us know if it works.
Did we mention that he fired his nanny?
I was about to
then he
get
got
to
a
it.
bag.
He threw her out,
Yeah.
and
He's
he
in the
goes
fit
there.
of rage.
She's not a
Yeah.
nanny. She's a maid.
She's his Bob Cratchit.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
he rehires her, and he's like, "I've changed," you know, and he's a good guy now,
So can we talk about real Dickens?
and his family.
Yes.
Oh, I was waiting for this.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, this pulls a private parts or like the dirt
Make 'em look-
situation.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Make 'em look good.
apparently, at like age 45, he got rid of his wife and traded her in for an 18-year-old.
The maid.
An actress.
No, an actress. This is in real life.
Oh.
Yeah,
And
the maid's a fictional character.
he tried to get his wife committed, like as an insane.
He tried to have her
person.
sectioned.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And some people speculate that there was nothing wrong with her, and he
Yeah,
he
just
just
did it.
he
just
couldn't
was trying to get rid of her.
divorce her because it was so hard to get a divorce
Right.
for prominent people back then.
Right. And he has also built up this character as being like the pinnacle of morality.
Right.
So
Right.
he was he's had an affair, and like he was a real piece of shit about it.
Horrible.
Every time
Nobody knew about this until recently too. Like
How?
they dug up like old letters and things.
So he actually had most of the people don't know all the details of the relationship
Mhm.
because he had most of the letters between the two of them burnt.
yeah.
When he was getting ready to die, he had all his personal correspondence burnt, and he had her burn up all his like
Mhm.
letters to her.
But apparently this has come out in recent years. Now, for all we know, this is character assassination. I
Could
don't
be.
know.
Could
But
be.
they made a movie in like 2012 about the girl.
Really?
Yeah.
And I didn't hear about this.
Yeah,
It wouldn't
We'll
be
have to do it at some
surprising.
point, right?
Successful men. That's what happens. It wouldn't be surprising at all.
don't know.
But if you think about what he's doing, like in this movie, when he's talking to these characters, like you said, he hallucinates and talks to them.
Yeah.
Like it's whimsical to us. But if you step away from the whimsical seeing the characters, he is just a lunatic.
He's a maniac.
He's a lunatic
Screaming to
at
himself in his
Yeah.
office.
Well, they have that scene where they show his wife, and as
Listening.
he's screaming
Yeah.
and raging in the room about the
Fight
story,
me!
She's just like, my God.
yeah,
Like, how do I do this? Yeah.
he's doing it again.
All right.
So I could see that being. a
He's not
little
even drunk.
torturous. No, he's just a crazy person running around town and like doing things.
Oh, he's a crazy person over here.
You're crazy. You're dead. The movie about the actress is called The Invisible Woman.
Yeah.
And her name is Ellen Ternan. There you go.
Nice.
The
So
Shroud of Turin.
we can kind of skip ahead here.
Well, he has like his Christmas
Because-
story moment,
yeah,
and the book comes out.
He's successful. He does it. The maid comes back. He gets a Tannenbaum. The Forester gets married, and it has a nice, happy wrap up ending.
Everybody wraps up real quick. It's great.
Real quick.
And the book comes out. Yeah.
And then that's it. That was that.
So do you know how much money he made from the book after self-publishing it?
It could be $15, $20.
You're actually not far
Pounds.
off. It was like 40 pounds.
What are you talking about?
He sold out that first print really quick,
Right.
and he made almost no money on it because he had such high
He has
cost.
such debt. Yeah, but once those
Yeah,
prints,
but-
he made it later on.
Later on, yeah, I'm talking about that initial run. He made
Royalties.
nothing from it.
Well, 40 pounds.
Merchandising,
Is, you know,
where the real money from the
merchandise.
book is made. Scrooge dolls, Scrooge figures, and they had play adaptations of the book almost like
Immediately.
Yeah, it was like right after.
Mm.
It is very, very amazing.
May the Schwartz
So.
be with you.
I love this.
Adorable.
Well, you know, I believe in Christmas, and I believe in the Christmas spirit and Christmas
I
miracles.
couldn't tell because, people believe you if you're dressed well.
And I
looking
think,
at you.
I think you could always change, and a writer trying to get a book out around Christmas time, I think that's something we should all support. And if you want to do that, I would look at our next sponsor, who's also a listener of this show. He's definitely he's not like a 7. He's like a 1 on the crazy level.
Oh, so he's sane.
He's sane.
Oh,
Yeah, he's a perfectly sane foodie.
Is this Toxic Pond guy?
Toxic Pond.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So his Kickstarter ends on Christmas. Let's get him over that line,
Let's
guys.
do it.
Go buy the book. All right.
I'm gonna buy it.
Ready? I'm going to read the copy.
Yeah.
Looking for that perfect holiday gift for that comic book and horror aficionado in your life?
Yes.
Well, look no further. Tales from the Crypt,
Finally, yes.
the Vault of Horror, and now Tales from Toxic Pond. Brought to you by Space Chimp Comics, an indie comic book company hailing from Florida's Space Coast. Where is the Space Coast? Is that Cape Canaveral?
I would assume so.
Yeah.
I almost said
I've never
Cape-
heard the term.
Does he just watch shuttle launches constantly?
His house shakes once a
He's
month.
just getting shot with debris.
What's
from
that?
the
What's
launches.
the SpaceX?
SpaceX.
Aren't they in Austin, SpaceX?
I think they're in Texas. Yeah.
Okay. Where's where's Cape Cod?
Massachusetts.
That's Massachusetts. Okay. Cape Canaveral is Florida,
yes.
right? Is that where NASA was?
Yes.
Why did they launch from Florida?
Weather.
It rains there.
Well, or probably close to the middle of the
I think it has something to do with the equator.
the equator.
Oh.
Yeah, gravity.
Okay, that makes sense.
I know in Civ,
Yeah.
when you're gonna make the space elevator Great Wonder,
Uh-huh.
you can only do it at certain latitudes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Probably
That's
something to
usually
do
like the end of the game.
with science.
Yeah, it's like nobody plays that long.
Yeah, because you won't become a warrior dictator. So
I've usually nuked half the planet. at that
yeah,
point.
you're the Gandhi, right?
My favorite thing to do in the game is just nuke a society in oblivion.
Yeah.
Usually Russia. I never click with Catherine the Great.
Well, it's Peter nowadays. But yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. They've done both.
But Space Coast, reminiscent of classic sci-fi and cosmic horror series such as The Twilight Zone, Night Gallery, and the Peter Cushing-led
Name
animated
drop!
films.
Yep, we went over that last time.
Yep. Name drop soup. You ever see the Christmas episode of The Twilight Zone?
No.
The Meek shall inherit the earth,
Oh,
or
man.
Night of the Meek.
What? Oh,
Get him! It's Night of the Meek, right?
well, we're not talking.
Yeah, it's
about
Night
it.
of the Meek.
Meek is
Well-
neither they or them.
Anyway, Peter Cushing led films, blah, 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 blah. Tales from Toxic Pond. Yeah, but so Night of the Meek, real quick. You never saw this one? It's great.
Yeah.
So Art Carney is like
Art Carney.
with the stars. Art Carney, Audrey Meadows, and Joyce Randolph. I love the Honeymooners.
They're great.
Where are you at with the Honeymooners, Steve? No.
No.
He likes the Flintstones. But
Yeah. He likes the pretty pictures and the colors.
Yeah, I like colors.
But Night of the Meek, so Art Carney's like this bumbling guy, and he finds a sack, and he starts walking around with it. And anything anybody wants for Christmas, he's able to find in this sack.
He's Santa.
He's
Yeah.
not Santa. He found Santa's sack.
Right.
So like, he's going to bars and stuff, and he's giving people like what
Bottles
they
of
want, and
alcohol.
and eventually like he's accused of robbery and theft, and like he's thrown in prison. Long story short, he ends up getting out, and he's giving everybody their Christmas wishes. And his Christmas wish, it turns out, was to make everyone else's come true all the time. And he ends up becoming Santa at the end. It's an awesome episode.
That's cool.
That's fine.
I like
Yeah.
that. Would you be Santa?
I fucking would love to be Santa.
You want to be
That's
Santa?
not even
That's
a
like your
joke.
goal.
So like the movie with Tim Allen.
That is
Santa
like
Claus.
the best thing ever. Yes.
So if there was someone on your roof dressed as Santa,
You'd kill him.
you're taking him
I'm
out.
taking the shot.
just on the off chance this is the way it works.
Santa has like assassin rules almost, right? Where it's like,
Yeah.
if you could take out Santa, you
You
could become the
yeah.
Santa.
Yes.
You become immortal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You work one day a year,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you have an army of people who are going to do whatever you
And you
want.
get amazing hot chocolate.
Yeah.
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 That's what it's about.
I would totally just become Santa. And I can
Do
eat whatever I
you-
want.
Do you take Santa's wife? Do you get Mrs. Claus in that deal?
Isn't that what the sequel was about?
Well, he had to find a Mrs. Claus
You have to find one. Okay.
because he didn't have one.
Oh.
I
So you
think-
don't. So what happens if I have a Mrs. Claus and then I die? She's out too.
She dies too.
no,
You're like
you get
connected.
divorced. You get divorced and it ruins that one kid's life.
Becomes a really tough time. Yeah.
yeah, like it's really affecting everyone's relationship.
He becomes a great artist, but
And then Brian kicks the door in.
Feast upon your works. How did we end up back here?
are we reading? We're reading an ad.
Anyway, Toxic Pond.
Tales from
No
Toxic.
clothes, just Santa hat. Just make it even crazier.
Blow, blow, blow.
Good. Okay.
Tales from Toxic Pond is a horror anthology series with standalone stories centered around the mysterious, supernatural Toxic Pond. Issue number 1 is now live on Kickstarter. Follow us on Instagram at Space Chimp Comics and back the project at Kickstarter.com and search Tales from Toxic Pond number 1. So click that link. It's down there. Go support a writer trying to make it and have a cool book come out. Also, I thought I did something that I was hoping would help him. If you buy the book, there's a special perceiver tier. So if you're a listener of this podcast, you will sign it and you can get a one-of-one sketch done by me of whatever you want. I will draw it and send it to you. So you can have a horrendous drawing.
Wouldn't it be great if Brian
He
tried to
has
do
to now
something
do like 200 drawings.
Brian did something that he thought would help the guy, but it's something like that could not ever possibly help him. Like, so I did something that I thought would help him. I molested a dog. I found a dog and I fondled his genitals.
The voices told me it would help. And then he just
Brian, how would that help him? Well, the
What do you
voices
mean?
told me to
What do
kill
you
the
mean?
couple in the car. You know, what do you want me to do?
I said to the dog, feast upon my work. Yeah, but so click that link, support Space Chimp Comic. He's a listener of the show. He's a good guy. I want that book to hit its quota. And
Yeah,
you can get a
yeah.
one-of-one sketch and the book. So, and I'll draw whatever you want.
Take a beat. Do we tell them about the ad that may or may not be in it?
Okay, yeah.
We could.
Yeah, tell him.
So we did make an ad for the show in there. It is a original AI work of art. I can't say we made it ourselves. We didn't draw it, but we did put it together, and it resembles
Steve killed it.
It resembles a comic book cover. So when you get it, you will see a really cool ad from the show in there.
And I'm not going to put it here.
We're not going to put it here because it is starring us. Maybe we'll show it one day. Maybe we'll put it on a shirt one day. But
Yeah.
let's see how far we can get with this first.
Yeah, so if you want to see that image and have the only printed version of it,
Or it's going to
Check
come
out
out
the
really
book.
bad and blurry. and
no,
not be in
I think it's going to be good. So guys, that's it for the movie.
We gotta rate it.
What do you rate it?
I picked this blind. I gave this an 8. 8 out of 10.
Okay.
7.
I loved it.
I'm 7.5.
Okay.
I think it's a really solid movie.
It's fun. It's a good
there's
watch.
nothing bad in there. It's
the history bumped it up.
I watched this once in 2017. I watched it again, like, however many years later.
It's feel good, historically pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Nothing bad to
It's
say.
inoffensive. It's a fine
Yeah,
watch.
it's great. Good family watch, I guess.
Before we get to the sketch, there's one last order of business.
What's
Sketch.
Oh,
And the last Christmas plug. Well, my drawing for the
what
episode.
you got in your hand?
So, I have had this for a while now,
How long is a while?
since we did the Christmas episode.
Okay.
Oh,
On our
okay.
Christmas podcast, you guys played the Newlywed Game.
Oh, you did it yourself.
I did it myself, but we ran out of time and I forgot to do it. So we will play it live, and this is kind of a preview. If you haven't gotten our Christmas pod on Bandcamp, this is it. My wife filled out these answers. I have no idea
you
what's
don't know
on there.
the contents of this envelope.
No, I don't know what she put.
She sealed it.
I had her seal it. Yeah.
That is
I wanted to
That is
ensure
a
the integrity.
cardboard style.
Yes.
All right, here we go.
So the Newlywed
I'm
Game.
going to ask Brian the questions.
I would laugh
Yes.
really
and
hard if
he
this
is
was
trying
him.
to guess
this
what
was
his
him.
wife wrote.
By the way,
Yes.
I became a servant and you've been served. Here's one time.
All right.
Divorce papers. I
Yeah.
start weeping.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That'd be so
That would
funny.
be so
that would
great.
be so
Merry
funny.
Christmas.
This is it.
Yeah.
I've had enough of you.
You and your fucking
What
ass.
would your spouse say is the weirdest or most unique tradition that your family does at Christmas?
So I am going to say that it was me and my sister would go and see a movie on Christmas Day in the morning.
Alessandra wrote, I don't think he believes any tradition is weird. You're very open.
I'm kind of down with every celebration, but yeah, I think she misunderstood the question.
Yeah.
It's Christmas Day. You are looking all around and you can't find your spouse. Finally, you find them hiding in a closet devouring which holiday treat?
Chocolate chip cookies.
That is correct.
Mhm.
That is what she wrote.
Yeah. That's like my only treat that I really
It's your spouse's turn to pick out a Christmas movie. Naturally, they pick their favorite one. Which is it?
My favorite is A Christmas Story, so I'm going to say A Christmas Story.
Alessandra knows you well.
Okay. What's our record so far?
You got 2 out of 3.
All right, not bad.
All right. Number 4.
Meatloaf would be happy with these answers.
Meatloaf. 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah, exactly.
If your spouse had it their way, when would they put the Christmas decorations up? Never, Black Friday, or last minute?
I would put them up Black Friday.
That's 4.
All Christmas things should be done from Black Friday until Christmas.
Mhm. Well, you make your thoughts known on this very often.
Mhm.
so
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not-
I
I'm
am-
not surprised she's gotten
Yeah.
it.
I'm
This
open
is-
about my Christmas beliefs, yes.
Yeah, this is
On
a-
Christmas morning,
This is a sus
what
thing.
does your spouse
Let's see.
wish under the tree?
That's interesting.
What do I wish was under the tree? Whew, man, this is so hard. There's so many
Could be
answers.
anything.
Yeah, there's so many answers. I'm going to say, I know this isn't there, but I'm going to tell you guys.
Okay.
A son.
A son.
Yeah, and I know that's not what she put.
Mm-hmm.
What did she put?
She put movies for his collection.
Okay.
It's
I
kind of
like
similar.
movies. Yeah. Those are kind of my children.
What is your spouse's go-to Christmas song?
My favorite is Same Old Lang Syne by Dan Fogelberg.
Yes, that
I
is your
knew
go.
that.
That's your go-to.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
But I don't think she put that.
She did not.
I think she put,
I shouldn't have told him that.
well, no, I think she put Christmas Wrapping by the
That's
Waitresses.
exactly what she put. Did you read this?
yeah, this is
No.
a little suspect.
No, I
dude,
swear to
'cause
God.
You've never played.
You've never
that.
played that in your entire
I
life.
play it
to
all the time.
Any of us. You played it once. I think I've heard that once, and it was never from you. It was from my wife's.
You're
uncle.
not Gen X. You can't like that song.
Yeah.
I like that song. It's a good song. It's a good Christmas song.
Your song is Same Old Lang Syne. So
That is, but I
this is
knew
kind of sus.
I knew she wouldn't get that.
little sus, but continue.
Which of these characters best describes your spouse's feelings about Christmas? Is it Buddy the Elf, Ebenezer Scrooge, or Hans Gruber?
I'm totally Buddy the Elf.
Yeah, that's
That is what Alessandra.
I think
thought
that
as
one's
well.
obvious.
that's
right?
obvious, yeah, that's an obvious one.
Number 8, Crunchy Frog. Which of these characters is most similar to your spouse?
Wait, Crunchy Frog?
It's Monty Python.
Okay.
Which of these characters is most similar to your spouse? Clark Griswold, Ralphie Parker, or George Bailey?
I think that I'm most like George Bailey, but I'm also like Clark Griswold because I'm a complete fuck up. I'm going to say probably she said George Bailey because she loves Wonderful
Well, I'm
Life.
sorry to tell this, but
No,
apparently your
you're
wife
Ralphie.
thinks that you are a small child incapable of adult level love.
Yeah.
She thinks I'm a
You're
little
Parker.
boy.
Yes.
Yeah.
She
thinks I'll shoot
she does
my
not
eye out.
think she does not think highly of you as a husband. You are mainly just another person living
I'm a
in the
little
house.
boy.
Yes, that needs to be cared for.
She's gonna wash my mouth out with soap.
Right.
Oh, fudge.
That movie stinks.
I love it. It's the best.
What Christmas song does your spouse despise the most?
Oh, well, the worst song ever recorded by a human being is Bruce Springsteen's Santa Claus is
So
Coming to
I
Town.
walked. I just moved to New Jersey.
Okay. And you had to listen to Bruce as
I
part of your
walked
residency.
out into my backyard.
That's how you
into
get
my
your
backyard
license.
last
Yeah.
night, and the house behind me was throwing a party in their yard and blaring that.
Did you
Oh,
take out
that's
a gun
funny.
and shoot
And
out their speaker?
I was like, I guess this is it. This is where I am now. This is Bruce country. I went to a brewery yesterday, and they had this event where Santa was there.
Yeah.
And I was talking with Santa, and he was just telling me about going to Asbury Park and watching Bruce.
That's what Santa does.
This is amazing. I love your Bruce interactions.
So she did not pick the Bruce song.
What'd she pick?
Happy Xmas, War is Over. That's John Lennon, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not
That's a weird
crazy
one,
about
yeah.
that song. I don't like Lennon.
Mm-hmm.
So how'd we do?
Oh, we got
You're
one
not
more.
done.
Oh, okay.
There is a storm on Christmas Eve. All cell phones and internet are down. Suddenly, a pregnant woman and her husband arrive at your house on Christmas Eve with nowhere to stay. What does your spouse do?
I say, feast upon your work. I bugger the husband. No. So my serious answer, I honestly would let them in and try to help them.
That's what she wrote.
Really?
Yes.
You got like 7 out of 10.
You got one wrong,
Right.
2 wrong,
I think it was 7 out of 10.
I think that's a respectable batting average.
I think it's better than anyone that
3
did.
wrong. Oh, no, you got that one right. Yeah, 3 wrong.
Let me see your.
I honestly thought, I'm not joking. I thought,
you got 4 wrong.
okay, so 6 out of
so
10.
6 out of 10.
I thought I was going to get like them all wrong.
Okay.
Mm.
Oh my god. All right. Okay. Just. That's all. That's all I'm gonna say.
What?
That's all I'm gonna say.
Not even an
That's all.
attempt?
Not even. I know what it is.
You know what it is.
I know what it is. But I'm so disgusted that I don't want to give it to you.
This looks like is it someone wearing armor? Oh, it's the chains on Marley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
it's
Without context, I would have no fucking clue what that is.
yeah.
without context, it's
But
scribble.
yes,
It's just scribble.
this is garbage.
Yeah.
This is
So-
hot garbage. You've done it again.
Yep.
You've created shit. Congratulations.
This is shit.
Maybe we can get that fan to teach you how to draw a little better.
Maybe we get someone to
Help
break
you
his
out.
fucking legs.
Wow. That's mean.
He was that disgusted with
Yeah.
with your drawing.
He wants me
You need to
crippled.
be in physical pain.
What's going to happen though is it's going to end up like Misery, where Aunt hobbles
Yeah.
me and he keeps me in bed and he just keeps making me
Yes,
draw,
you draw
for him
something
Right,
else.
right.
as he's feeding me like soup.
Yeah, and
Draw
I
better.
talk to you like a baby. Oh,
Yeah.
Mr. Man, you're making a thing.
Have you ever seen Misery?
Yeah, great movie.
It's really good. Yeah.
It's twisted.
James Caan's under. I watched Elf recently.
Okay.
It's like the second or third time I'd ever seen it.
Oh, really? You haven't
yeah,
seen it that much?
Yeah.
It's good.
Funny movie, like
It's
it a
fun,
lot.
Yeah.
Elf is great.
Something is missing from Elf. Okay.
What's that?
Okay.
As I'm watching it, I'm like, this doesn't really work. The end doesn't work. It's
Really?
bad. Yeah. And here's why. There's a scene missing, I realized. I was thinking about it for like a day.
Okay.
And I was like, James Caan,
Mhm.
who plays the dad,
Yes.
has no reason to do a 180 on Buddy to start liking him. There's like a scene. They need to have a scene where Buddy does something that James Caan respects or likes. That scene never happens. It's just out of nowhere, he suddenly cares about Buddy.
Well, no, the son comes to him and is like, Buddy cares about everybody. You only care about yourself. You're a piece of shit.
but
And he goes,
I don't think that was enough.
but I don't think he would want anything bad to happen to Buddy. He thinks Buddy's like an incompetent.
Yeah.
So he's not going to let Buddy die in New
The
York.
last time he saw Buddy in the movie is when he got in a fight with Peter Dinklage.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason
A North
James
Pole
Caan.
elf.
Yes, there's no reason that James
South Pole
Caan
elf.
would be like, I like this guy now. I'm gonna go stick my neck out and lose my job over it.
It's still his son because he didn't want Buddy to show up years later, kicking the door and saying,
Feasting upon his
"Feast
work."
upon your work."
But other than that, funny movie, good movie. I liked it. I got a real kick. I don't know why. It's weird like thing I enjoy when the department store guy yells at Zoe Deschanel when she's making the ribbons. And he goes 6-inch ribbons, and she goes, that's impossible.
6-inch
Yeah,
curls.
it's funny.
It's very funny. I think the real problem with that movie is I don't buy the love story between Will
I don't buy that
Ferrell
either.
and
Yeah.
Zoe Deschanel. But you just got to go with it.
I
'cause the
go with
movie's
that.
so
I go
fun.
with that more than I do with the James Caan thing because it just comes out of nowhere. It's like the movie just decided it's time for the movie to be over, so we need this to happen.
Got to wrap it up.
You know.
I mean, he does find out Santa Claus is real moments later.
But only after he's already made the turn.
Well, I don't think it's the complete turn. I think he's just not going to let, his son die. But I will say, I forgot what I was going to say. Elf. Oh, Elf is the last Christmas movie that is like big in pop culture and will never have something of that size again.
Why not?
The culture is too split up. And like, there's no giant hit movies that everyone would rally behind.
But we've had other Christmas movies.
That movie's 20 years old, but nothing has been as big in pop culture as Elf. There's no Christmas classic since Elf. There's other Christmas movies, but there's nothing.
What's the last Christmas classic before Elf? It's Home Alone.
It's been,
And that's 10 years before that.
You have Home Alone 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And then
there are Christmas movies that, like 8-Bit Christmas should be
8-Bit should have been, yeah.
That was the movie.
That was a good movie.
If it was popular, like if it gains more popularity over the years or it becomes a really big cult hit.
What about that
sure.
depressing snowman movie with
Jack Frost?
Jack Frost.
I saw that in theater.
So did I.
That movie's not
the
good.
best. But that's
what about the Grinch? People like that.
Oh, the Grinch, yeah.
The Jim Carrey one?
Yeah.
Grinch is, that's a good one.
I don't think...
It's also before Buddy the Elf, isn't it?
That came out in 2000, yeah.
Oh, it's before Elf.
Yeah.
Wow, that's that old?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. And then Elf is 2003. But I don't think there's anything that's come out huge since then. I mean, there's movies I like, but I don't think there's been anything as big as those.
There's no superheroes. That's why.
The
Need a superhero Christmas movie.
The Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special on Disney Plus is fucking awesome.
There it is. Now
it's 45 minutes. It's really great. I recommend checking that, even if you're not into the Marvel shit.
I like Guardians though.
You'll like
Guardians is like the Marvel that I kind of don't mind watching.
I think you'll like this.
Yeah.
It's really good, and like they hit the Christmas notes perfectly. But that's it, guys.
That's it. That was our Christmas episode.
Christmas episode's over.
Happy holidays.
Thanks for joining
From us to you. Have a happy holiday. Not just Christmas.
Holiday.
Well, every other holiday's over, unless you say it like counting Kwanzaa.
Just in general.
Counting Crows. Listen to Counting Crows. I mean, they're just great for everybody.
Well, I know that's the problem, baby.
And if you see someone on your roof with a Santa hat,
maybe you're in love,
shoot him. We're not
That's
advocating
great.
for violence. We're just advocating for a transfer of powers.
Well, the new Santa.
It's a coup.
Yeah. Would you guys, if I become Santa and I want to bring you guys in to work with me?
Yeah. Well, I'd shoot you if you were on my roof, regardless if you were dressed.
So you show up with reindeer and a sleigh.
I'm like, I'm the new Santa, guys.
Yeah, I go with you.
Come with me to the North Pole.
I ain't doing it.
Going to a dream world of magic.
I've learned enough from that mistake.
You could establish your lives in the North Pole.
Oh, we have to live there? I thought we were just going like for a ride on
He's
Christmas
like, yeah,
Eve.
let's go for a ride. We'll hand out some gifts. Next thing you know, you're an elf.
I want you to be in charge of like the toy section.
See, you're an elf.
So now I got to live
Now
in,
you're an
in
elf.
the
Now you
North
gotta
Pole?
work.
No.
Yeah.
Well, you only work one day a year, really, because you could just delegate it to another elf. It's really a token position. I really just want my boys in the North Pole with me.
It's like communism.
We can do the pod from there.
It's like
I mean,
we're
I
in
would
his
come
cabinet.
hang out. I don't know if I want to stay there.
We're in his cabinet.
I think we'd immediately start trying to figure out how to use our new magic
take
powers
over
to
the
take
world.
over the world. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be like, okay, so I can get around the world in one night. What if I implanted small
Yeah.
devices
Tactical
Anthony
nukes
is the-
attached
in
to-
everybody's
yeah.
chimneys?
Anthony is the North Pole head of agriculture and trade. I will be the head of transportation and
I wake up one Christmas morning, the elves are putting me to the wall. I knew Santa. He is no Santa. All right.
Anyway, thank you for listening. Please, once again, look at the Christmas album. Look at the sign up for
Just
anything
look at
that we
it. Don't do
just
anything
look
else.
at it. Yeah, just take a gander.
Feast upon our works.
Feast upon Brian's livelihood in front of you. You have it in your hands. Continue.
Yeah. I want to give a big thank you to everybody listening and or watching, anyone who's checked us out this whole
Happy New
year. Well, no, I think we have one more before the new year.
I think it comes out. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Thank you all for listening and or watching. Big thank you to Tom, Steve, Dave, Bry, Walt, Q, Get 'em, Lannister Cord down in the store. We greatly appreciate it. Check out their Christmas pod. This might be a spoiler, but I'll be on there. That's going to drop either December 23rd Festivus or it's going to drop on Christmas Eve. So check that out if you want more Rupp. You could go to their Patreon and sign up for it, or you could check out bandcamp.com. You could buy their Christmas album and ours. You could have a whole Christmas-filled day, and half of all the money from ours will go to charity. Check out our sponsors, BetterHelp, Riverside, Space Chimp Comics. Thank you guys so much. We greatly appreciate it. Follow us on all social media, Review History Pod on Twitter, Reviewing History Pod everywhere else. Follow me personally on all social media at Brian Ruppert. That's with 2 P's. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time and have a Merry Christmas. Ho, 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 ho.
Hit play.
Scum.
We're good. Okay. Yep. Looks like we're recording. Rolling on that. I'm gonna slide over just a tad to you. Here.
Christmas, a humbug.
I'm festive.
Sure are.
Who's more festive though? I feel like he's not festive because he has the devil all over him.
Yeah.
You dirty Satanist.
We recently got a
I watched-
statue in a church.
I watched,
Not
and
a
then it
church.
got beheaded.
Yeah.
It wasn't a church.
I know, it was a state house,
State
yeah.
capitol. I just watched recently a New Jersey Devil documentary.
Really?
Yes.
What made you watch that?
I don't know. I found it and I watched it.
Okay, that's awesome, though.
It's pretty interesting.
Was it a documentary about the actual New
Like,
Jersey
the
Devil
cryptid.
or like
Oh, I
the
thought he meant the
mascot?
hockey team.
That's what I thought too. I was
I
like
was
the hockey team
excited.
or the mascot itself. Like, here's the history of how he became the mascot. And
No.
he was at Brian Ruppert's wedding.
That would be awesome. They used footage from my wedding for a documentary. All right.
And talk into the mic real quick.
The Carnosaur
Move it to the left.
is a carnivorous dinosaur that most people don't really know much about, but it's actually larger than the T-Rex.
Right.
And
Give me a little more energy about that, though.
and probably would be like
Nice. Okay, good.
even
Thank you. No,
scarier.
you're good. Because I wasn't sure if I wasn't picking you up or you were just talking low.
Mm. Sure, a dinosaur.
I like the Stegosaurus.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Nobody really picks that. I'm glad you did. It's
I think
an
he's,
underrated.
I think he's cool.
Underrated.
Mm.
Yeah.
It didn't look like how they draw them, but underrated.
Well, they're all fake.
They're
None
all
of them
fake.
real.
Yeah, none of them existed. They're all birds.
They're made up of like parts of other animals that
Mhm.
zoos just put together to market to people.
Mm.
Mhm.
It's all marketing for zoo. Big
Yeah.
zoo.
Right.
Well,
Big
zoos and museums, yeah.
Mm.
Dinosaurs are fake. All right. Ready?
Oh, you want to clap?
He didn't count. He went like this.
He goes,
I counted to myself.
ready, guys?
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, we're ready, Brian.
1, 2, 3.
Can we keep that in? Can we
I'll put it at the end.